Hello, everybody. It's great to be back another day. I'm going to be Dawson here with my co-commentator, Rylan. Coming back, actually, second week here of CRL. We had a couple tough losses last week, so we have our teams back here again trying to qualify for the second time. So we have we have four teams, two club teams. Then we have our Premier Scarlet, Premier Gray, all looking to vie for a spot in these qualifiers here. How are you feeling, Rylan? You feeling good?
Yeah, absolutely. Last week, I was able to commentate on some great Premier games. I watched the Gray team, I watched the Scarlet team. It was really exciting to see the team play together, and they showed some impressive performances. And I was just really, I was really kind of blown away from the very last time that I saw them as well. I feel like they've got a lot more cohesive, and they've gotten a lot more strong in their game. So yeah, I'm really excited for this week's matchups.
Yeah, our Premier Tiers teams are always looking, up and out, always trying to get better. I kind of the opposite. I caught the club teams matches. I was more on the last half of that, but it seemed, yeah, definitely a lot of the teams here playing really cohesive. Yeah, I think College Rocket League is a really good experience for people to really combine as one cohesive unit, like you said, and really work to get that proper threes Rocket League. That standard gameplay altogether. That was something that the commentators definitely pointed out a lot. Is whenever those holes were made and the teams weren't really playing together, that's where it starts to fall apart. So College Rocket League is always about that. It's always about the team play.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also really nice as well because, well, just like I mean, this tournament, just like last week, was double elimination, and I think I think our great team might have been eliminated last. They lost one of their matchups, and they were able to bounce back, I think, and get a win on the last game that I commentated before we switched commentators, which was fantastic to see. I mean, this gives teams an opportunity to kind of reevaluate, restructure what they have to do for the upcoming games, and I think it's a fantastic experience to commentate over. Honestly, to see how players bounce back. Because I know for me, honestly, whenever I lose in Rocket League, my Xbox goes off and then I walk away, and then that's the end of that. So
It's yeah, I've had some rough experiences with some lost streaks lately. It's that positive mental attitude. It's something that I'm not great at. I would not be able to do something like this. I would get tilted too easily. But these players held on pretty good. We've always had some volatile teams here with Scarlet and Gray. Very aggressive, very mechanically based. So it's really easy to try to do too much with our players, and then we start to fall out of that. Um, but yeah, I've definitely been seeing that get a lot better as I've just watched, from a distance or more involved with the players. So that's something that's I'm really excited to see.
hmm
I want to see these players, get stronger mentally more than actual mechanic wise.
yeah, I totally agree, and I think that's like one of the biggest contributing factors to the win, honestly, because commentating last week, like teams on both sides were just playing fantastic, and it came down really to small mistakes, small errors, which is just due to a lack of focus or at certain times it's not even for the whole game. It's like a 5 second interval. You have such a short period of
Yeah.
time to react, and honestly. One big thing I'm just really dying to see is how maybe they've learned from last week, kind of practiced up until now, and maybe they might be able to show focus during the entire 5 minutes coming up. And
Mhm.
especially, last week we saw a game that was just constantly like back and forth. Like we didn't know who was going to win. It was just like it felt like it was anyone's game, and that's what makes these matches so interesting. Both sides that are competing are doing such a fantastic job, just trying to, work together and try and win the match as best they can without lack of focus. But looks like we're coming into our game here with Premier Gray against the Fighting Illini. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
swinging right into this thing you talked about with, staying focused the entire time. Overtimes were a huge thing last week. I I'm not sure if it was the same with the matches you saw, but I saw so many overtimes, and I just felt like a lot of the players, they just after those 5 minutes, they just kind of check out mentally.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be really interesting to see how these teams are playing out this week. Let's see how they shift their focus coming up in this match. Starting off strong from both teams. Not really anything to say so far in the first 30 seconds, but looks like Ohio State's trying to get some attacking play here.
Yeah, both teams doing a really great job keeping the ball just in play. Always having that third player going for it. That's something that's going to be really important, is always having a third player on the ball here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that we definitely saw a lot last week was really good passing play. They were able to contribute a lot of players on the ball, passing and attacking wise. And it'll be interesting to see how they improve on that this week.
Yeah, these players definitely looking to stay sharp here. Some shot opportunities from UIUC, but they're just not on target here. OSU was double committing a little bit. Definitely had some opportunities for stuff. I think the players are still warming up a bit, trying to get back in the swing of things. Queed's able to get that ball out of the danger zone.
Yep. Speaking of that, last week, Queeds was fantastic in all the games that we watched, and it'll be interesting to see how he manages to put this team together this week. But it looks like he starts off with a goal.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Queeds is kind of a clip generator at this point, and here went for the musty, barely got it with his butt there, getting over threshold.
Wow.
For the first goal here, a minute and a half in.
That was
a really great start for him.
Yeah, that was a really awesome goal. I really wish that I could do that. I'll have to watch that clip about 50 times in order to learn what he does.
Yeah, it's all about being conscious of, how far your car moves. And the thing with Queeds too is like controlling that jump. The longer you hold down your jump button, the higher you go. So especially with musties there, that's kind of the most important part, is not jumping too high, too fast, so the ball doesn't get out of reach.
Yeah, we can already see, honestly, a strong start from both sides. I mean, UIUC is definitely coming in strong on the attacking play, and so is Ohio State. I mean, but there's really good rotation from both sides. This has already turned out to be a really interesting game. Only one goal so far. And, well, as I say that, there is another one from Jay Sutz there. Really good shot there into the top corner over the defenders. Really good play from Ohio State.
Yeah, I would have said commentator's curse, but I think it's more of a commentator's blessing here.
Absolutely. I mean, we want Ohio State to win, after all.
Yeah, some things I'm just noticing. A lot of the players, Jay Sutz actually in particular, I think there's a lot of balls where he's kind of hesitating. I think OSU in general is kind of hesitating for what they want to go for. Not quite sure where they can really challenge stuff. I want to see them get a little faster here, get that speed that we're known for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's our win condition.
Oh, Jay Sutz almost just trying to poach that in from a little bit of a mistake there.
Great control here from Perk Dog. Getting that around one defender, not quite the second though. Ran out of boost here.
Yeah, and with what you just said, talking about bringing speed, obviously this is the first matchup for, both sides this weekend. It's going to be a little shaky. It's going to be a little rough at first, they're just getting started. I'm sure they've had a warm-up, but,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the real deal now, and everything's kind of on the line for this. But so far, Ohio State's got a 2-goal lead here with a little bit under 2 minutes left to go. It's looking like they're doing a fantastic job just holding the fort down and keeping this 2-goal lead.
Very close shot there from Pauly. Yeah, OSU just opening up a little bit. They went for some passing plays that didn't quite connect. They have the right idea for sure here starting out. I think if they want to go for a lot of these passing plays, though, if you're not fully confident that you're going to be able to, close it out, it can open you up to a really quick counterattack. And I think that's something that we've struggled with a lot here, actually, is, going for too much, more than we probably need, especially on those passing plays, and then overcommitting, and then we just kind of leave our defense wide open. And then our rotation isn't fast enough to really do anything about it. That's something that I see a lot here. Usually, any goal that we really get scored on is typically a miscalculated challenge or just a bad challenge.
Yeah.
That's something I see a lot here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Bill and I here are trying to throw numbers up, trying to get some goals, but Ohio State's holding it down here with 35 seconds left to go. Should be interesting to see how they try to pull this one back, but Ohio State doing a fantastic job just holding the fort down.
Yeah, Illini seems very consistent. They're able to keep the ball in play, or at least keep possession of it a lot. But their attacks just really haven't been panning out so far. OSU's just kind of been, on their heel,
Ooh.
making sure they're not able to do much.
Yeah, and it looks like here they're just going to try and keep the ball on the ground as much as they can. A little bit awkward there, but Queed's able to get it away, and that is going to be a win for Ohio State. And try to keep it up, try to keep it alive. It's a good attempt there.
Yeah, our great team able to close that out 2-0. Really great first start here.
Yeah, absolutely. We start off with a win for Ohio State. First win of the day. That's always good news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that game so far? Any positives take away?
I would say a bit of a rough start, honestly, from OSU here. We had a lot of, we were thinking in the right place, but I think our hands just weren't really there yet. So a lot of passes that were coming out that weren't connecting, like I was saying during the match. Illini seemed like they played pretty consistent throughout that match, but they just weren't putting their shots on net or really having like the good placement that you need to get that ball around a defense like OSU's.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of where the difference was. We were able to actually, get those shots on net early on, and that really helped get us that momentum that we needed to carry it out through that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last week we saw, the earlier you start off with a goal, I mean, the better it is. And we saw some games where they were scoring 5 seconds in. That was just able to just give them the slight edge that they needed to get the win. But we're coming in here to match number 2, and we'll see how this one plays out.
Yep, I think OSU just needs to keep doing what they were doing. Definitely some good things I was seeing. JSET's a little bit rough starting out. I think he was just not really sure where his place was in this rotation. He's almost own goaling that there. JSET's just jumping around. Yeah, those are a little tough on the rotation for OSU. They just kind of weren't sure who was going to touch it. Perk Dog missing that. Queed's almost own goaling, so JSET's got a little confused.
Yeah.
Rough start. Only 20 seconds in, though. We can bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a tiny little mistake, that those things happen in these matches, and it's just a matter of how they respond. But Ohio State's, especially last week, I'm very impressed with the way that they do respond to these. Unfortunately there, just an open goal there, Pauly was just able to slot it in for a 2-0 lead, less than 30 seconds into the match. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, some tough challenges here from OSU. I think Queez wanted to control that ball a little bit more than Illini was willing to let him. So I think there's a lot of reading that we need to do here on this opposing team. They're definitely bringing out their A game right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But Queez is coming up here, trying to get some attacking play there, and it was just able to be stopped there. Shove.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said too about individual players trying to go for too much. A lot of times there are solo plays. The solo plays are definitely important and can be used really well. But a lot of times, like with Queedzer, I think he used a lot more of his boost than he probably should have. And then same thing on Illini's side is Pauly probably using a bit more than he should, and then getting stuck. So I think that's one thing that contributes. Wow, Perk Dog actually going for that one there. That was a clanger.
Yeah, that was so close. He just tried to read that play across, and had he tapped that in, that would have been such a fantastic.
That would have been insane.
Yeah. It looks like.
Yeah, that's where the communication is, right? Yeah, this OSU team that we've said is so great with the communication. Pauly be able to read that off the backboard. That's an insane read there.
Yeah, that was a really good goal. Fantastic pass, and just being able to twist the car and tap that in. I mean, honestly, even if Ohio State had players in the net, I'm not really so sure that they would have been able to stop it.
That's a tough save to make for sure, yeah.
Absolutely, especially they know it's going to hit the backboard, but Pauly was able to read that and able to steer it right in for a 3-0 lead here.
Yeah, definitely just a lot of really great opportunities here that Illini is able to create on this field. OSU having some ideas. You can definitely see like little glimmers of ideas coming out, but it's just they're going for a little bit too much, leaving themselves open. Illini is definitely pulling out none of the stops here, actually.
Yeah,
not all of the stops.
OSU just trying to defend right now, but it looks like they're on the attack. They got a nice little demo there. Let's see how this plays out. And looks like they responded with a demo back. Even the odds.
Yeah, counterattack opportunity, but J-Sets was able to be on the back there. Illini's player is not able to get up to that. It was a little bit too high, a little bit too fast there from J-Sets.
Yeah, this is a really good shot. I mean, he sees both of them on the ground. None of them's pre-jump yet to read that, so to be able to hit it up and over and into that goal is really fantastic. And there's still 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I still think it's anyone's game. We're just gonna have to see how this one plays out.
Yes, we have to take that momentum. It's all about that momentum. Illini was able to take it early, and they were able to get a couple, you know, contributing goals, I guess. They were able to keep it rolling. So as long as OSU is able to take that back here,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the win condition is definitely just to keep solid, get your passes connected. Great shot there from Shovel, actually. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, OSU, whoever that was, I think that was, yeah, Perk Dog coming back, just didn't have the momentum, didn't have the positioning to be able to get up to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a well-placed shot. I mean, just far enough away from Perk Dog so that he could not save that. It's 4-1 now, with just about 2 minutes left. Ohio State's really gonna have to pull something together here, and maybe, oh, Perk Dog almost got that save, but he didn't need to. It hit the crossbar, so we're all good there. 2 minutes left to go. 4-1 still. Ohio State's trying to get some attacking play here. Nice pass from Perk Dog, able to bring it down, and Queets almost got that. Almost was a fantastic play right there.
Yeah, J-Sets was looking for his teammate there, but Illini did a great job reading that pass. Nice try there from Chimkin. Illini is just looking to control this ball as much as they can, just waste time. They are up 3, so it's a smart thing to go for.
Yeah, absolutely. And they, you know, last game Ohio State was able to do the same thing to them, and just looking to replicate that there, except almost got a goal there. Really close. They keep getting attacking plays, and Ohio State's struggling a little bit, but really nice pass there from J-Sets. Queets almost got that nice block.
Yeah, these ideas are really great. I'm loving that OSU is looking for their teammates here. They're just, I think it's all really readable. When the passes are a bit slower and you're really angling your car, you know, it's really easy for the opposing team to read a hit when you're angling your car towards your teammate. So it's all about making that passes unreadable, and Perk Dog actually getting that around the defender to bring it up 2-4 for Ohio State.
Yeah, and you know, I've seen crazier comebacks. I always say that, but Ohio State's going to have to really, you know, push forward and really get a goal probably within the first 10 seconds of this kickoff if they're going to want to bring this back in terms of momentum.
Yeah, and I've been nagging a bit on OSU for, you know, going for a little bit too much than they can handle right now, and maybe having those readable plays. But I actually want to see some solo plays probably come out in these last 30 seconds. I think that's what we need to be able to bring it back. Is we need an individual play here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because our passes are getting read.
Yeah, the Illini here just trying to end the match a solid way. Pauly with a nice shot and good block from J-Sets. Oh, okay.
Whoa,
He has 2
what
saves.
a save.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 seconds.
Yeah, OSU looking to do something with this. At least bring it up 3-4. Hopefully get some momentum going into the next match. Maybe Illini is just gonna pinch that off the ceiling, let it drop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking like oh well, that's a win for the Illini in game 2. How do you feel about Ohio State's performance in this match versus the last match?
So I actually think OSU probably played the same. I would say. I think if they were playing the exact same team without any adjustments that Illini had in the first game, we probably would have taken this as well. But I think Illini really made some great adjustments. OSU that first game was able to get a lot of passes actually out and on net, you know, and complete those. A couple that weren't quite getting there, but that was kind of what gave us the difference. But this time we were ready to do that, like especially with that pass we saw from J-Sets near the end. We were still doing that. It's just Illini, you know, they were using their adjustments correctly and able to read those. So that's, I think, where the difference came down to this game.
I agree, and I think looking into this next match coming up here in just a second, I think it's going to be really important for Ohio State to just kind of hold their shape and get focused on the organization, because it definitely worked in the first game, and if they're looking to take home this win right here, just going to have to show some structure and organization from all players. Good rotation all around, and maybe some demos here to turn the tides. It looks like JSUTS has a shot early on the first 19 seconds, and it's opening up 1-0 for Ohio State.
Yeah, getting a little bit of deja vu here from last game with such an early goal. Yeah, JSUT's actually doing a great job to keep that on the ground, reading the defenders there, going high for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just perfect placement there from JSUTS, and it's really nice to have an early goal lead. That's such a positive thing to have going forward into the, the remaining 4.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of presence. Just pointing out, I mean, a lot of those two players, I think a lot of these players actually in general, are relying a little bit on muscle memory so far. Queen's actually getting a great pass down to JSUTS. I was going to say that muscle memory, coming down to when they want to hit the ball and where, you don't actually really think about it a lot of times. But Queen's just being able to angle that down last minute. That's what I was talking about last game with not making your passes readable. Queen's doing an awesome job there, actually, just morphing his car at the last second to be able to get it right down to his teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like, honestly, if I was there, or I think if the average Rocket League player was there, they would have taken that shot. But Queets was just able to steer it down, make it unreadable, and just for a simple tap-in, I mean, it's so crucial that you involve all players in your passing, attacking play. And we've already seen a couple more opportunities just like that after that goal. And it pays off. They're up 2-0, and they're still, just under 4 minutes left to go. And 2 goals is such a huge advantage to have in these matches.
Yeah, 2-0, 2 set in stone though. It's definitely losable if we lose that focus. Which, I mean, couple unfavorable touches here from OSU actually, but JSUT's able to get that banged out actually real quick. Queed's whiffing. Yeah, it's that third player. These challenges are coming out super late, so when a player is whiffing, it's kind of just oh, you're going for it. No, I'm going for it. It's that kind of hesitation that we don't like to see here.
No, absolutely not. No hesitating now, especially since this match determines the winner of the series.
Yeah, that's something that is always looking to be closed, is that hesitation. You don't want any empty space here. You always want someone making ground, aiming to push that ball forward, which JSUTS is looking to do here. Get it to Queeds, maybe. Not quite able to connect that. Actually, a very insane pre-jump there from Queeds. This is some... Wow. Yeah, these are some insane reads that OSU's pulling out.
Oh, absolutely. And another one there was a nice little pinch off the wall there, but Ohio State just able to deflect that back in their direction. Still just a little bit over 2 minutes left to go, but Ohio State's definitely doing a fantastic job just keeping that ball away from goal. And oh, a little bit of a touch there from Queeds. What a goal to bring it up 3-0. I need to see this again. My eyes deceived me there.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What a little tap in. He was just able to guide that in. That was a beautiful goal there from Queeds and an excellent pass.
Yeah, the defender I believe not having enough boost to actually just get up to that. So Queeds, I mean, just staying strong. A lot of these, you go for these shots and you're not sure if you're going to get beat to it, but you still just go for it just in case. Just in case, they whiff or they don't have enough boost for it. That's something that, I mean, in threes is super important because you never know what's going to happen. You always want to be ready for anything. And Perk Dog actually being ready for anything there, getting that shot out, but saved.
Queeds just trying to take this up the wall and try and just escort it away from goal. He's doing a fantastic job, and now he's got a shot here. Polly's going to have to defend.
Unfavorable touch there from Polly, actually putting it right in front of the net, but none of the OSU players pushing up. A little bit of that hesitation.
Oh!
Great shot opportunity, but it's pinched out there by the shovel.
Yeah, I mean, that was very crucial. I mean, 3 goals is a lot, and that's enough to be said, but 4 goals have been really destructive there for the Illini, but they keep it at 3-0, and there's just over a minute left to go, but it's looking like if OSU keeps this up, it's going to be a nice win.
Yeah, a lot of ground being made by Illini, but yeah, you have 1 minute. You need 3 goals. You just have to kind of go for it.
Absolutely.
Which, yeah, they're definitely doing that. OSU's just looking to keep that ball grounded and just go for 50s, keep that in their possession. They're doing pretty well so far. They just want to close this game out.
Yeah, there's not too much trouble here for Ohio State. They're managing to hold out really well, and they're still managing to get some attacking play, which is absolutely crucial as well. That puts a dent on the Illini's efforts in trying coming back. Jay Sutt's there just trying to get the read.
Yeah, the momentum is basically just 100% in OSU's favor here, especially in this, it's best of 3. This is the game. They need to close out the series. Illini is probably going to take this goal. 11 seconds for 2 goals definitely, is doable. OSU just wants to 50 this, get a favorable kickoff, and just close this out here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how this plays out here, but it's looking like it's a win in the series for Ohio State. Nonetheless, great job from them. And
yeah, great play.
Oh, looks like they're just gonna
wide open.
Get bring back the 3-goal difference there.
Yep, all but close it out here. Jay Sutt's on that kickoff. Paulie messing up. I think he was going for a fast kickoff there and just double tapped his jump button too early.
Yeah, now we only have 8 seconds. 3 seconds already passed in that short amount of time, but yeah, last 8 seconds here, it's looking.
Yep, OSU's definitely going to be closing this out here to give us a 2-1 victory over Illini Esports. Really great performance, actually, from OSU. Be able to bring it back from that tough loss, actually, in the second game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think honestly, throughout the whole series, both teams were playing pretty consistently. But there was a little bit of hesitation from both sides, coming in early on. But obviously, fantastic job from Ohio State to just be able to take that third game, take control of it. Honestly, that was a dominating performance from Ohio State on the attacking and passing play, and some fantastic goals that we just saw there, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, the offense, I definitely have no qualms. There's a lot of really great stuff coming out from both teams, honestly. It lies in that defense, though, for sure. That decided the victor here. And especially in that second game, it was our defense. And a lot of weird decisions being made. There's a lot of maybe intentional, maybe unintentional fakes coming out that definitely shouldn't have been fakes. So I think players were just kind of, maybe the nerves, they were jittering a little bit. But, there's a lot of really crazy goals, actually. Queed's having some insane stuff coming out. So, those individuals definitely showed up today. Queeds and Paulie come to mind for this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a fantastic performance. And in terms of the other teams, just wanted to bring to your attention the scores of the other games. The Scarlet, the Premier Scarlet team, was able to take a 2-1 victory over Norwich University. The Ohio State Legumez club team was able to beat Ball State's black team 2-0. And OSU's Beanz team was able to win 2-0 as well. So wins around the board for all 4 teams.
All 4 teams.
All fantastic. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, good start today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's good. It's good car ball from Ohio State.
For sure. And, just going forward, if there were things I really wanted to critique, that I want to see OSU really hunker down on, it is that decision-making. That's something I don't think I've really talked about a lot with OSU is decision-making. I feel like for the most part, players, at least with Queeds and, the gray team, they play really well together, but mechanics are a little tough, Queeds being really on the higher end of that, but then players like Jay Suts, maybe not being quite there yet, but it's where that decision making lies, is where that really matters. It's like at this level, mechanics aren't the be all end all. It's about those passing plays and really thinking where do I need to hit this ball to give us the best opportunity to get that shot on net.
Yeah,
and that's something that I think was a little rough for OSU, just a little bit. There were some spots where I really liked what they were doing, and that communication was right there. But then I don't think they were really communicating all the time. So that's something that is really important because, that second when you turn it off, you're going to get scored on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in that last matchup that we just saw, Queeds did a fantastic job of being able to use his skilled mechanics there to be able to get some good passing plays and some shots, and was able to close out the series there from Ohio State.
Yep, yeah, and on that note, I believe we're ready to throw it to a break, perhaps, while we're waiting for the next game.
Yep.
to come, which is going to be Scarlet, right? Our Scarlet team.
I believe so. Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll be back
Yeah.
here a short amount of time. And yeah.
See you guys. Hello, everyone. We're back from break here. Ready to watch some more cardball, Rylan?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Hopping into the next game here, we're watching the Premier Scarlet team take on Xavier University. Tell me, Dawson, how do you feel for this one based on last game's performances?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. We are the higher seed. I mean, we're projected above it, so definitely want to see Scarlet, pull out some good game here. Just stay calm, play consistent. That's really all you need. That's something I talked about with Gray is, you don't want to do more than you need to. So I want to see Scarlet, keep it tight.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a great performance there to bring back the series there for our Gray team. But we got a whole new set of players here to watch, a whole different thing to analyze. But they last game were able to win against Norwich 2-1. Obviously, just like it might have been a tight series. We're not sure like who won first, who won second. But it should be an interesting matchup. And yeah, like you said, they're a higher seed team. So as long as they, do what they did last game, they put in a consistent performance, they should be able to take the win here. Will be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, and with Scarlet too, something that Gray is working on a lot is that decision making I talked about. With having a couple players that maybe aren't up to the mechanics that a lot of the other players in the tournament are. But Scarlet, we have a bit of our higher ranked players, some more mechanically skilled stuff. But it's OSU, we've always had a lot of aggressive players. I feel like that's something that at least last year I saw a lot. We've been kind of known for is that volatility. So you never know which OSU team you're gonna get really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, like what you just said, the aggression is going to be really key here in determining the win, because coming out so early in the tournament with so much aggression can really be off-putting for the teams you're playing. Honestly, it could really throw you for a loop. It's going to depend on how Xavier responds to this, but if OSU are able to use that aggression to their advantage, they're probably going to take this. They're probably going to take a nice win here. They're able to do so. But obviously, like I said, we see a different set of players. How they press, how they rotate is all very important for this upcoming game, and it should be a really fun game to watch, honestly.
Yeah, and these players on this team have been playing together for a decent amount of time, so I'm sure they're used to how each other plays, and I want to see that shine through here. Too often, we're leaving stuff open off of bad rotations, getting free counterattacks to the other team. So tighten that up. Rotations always, it's a word, I feel like I say it too much at this point. But a lot of time, I mean, that's why we're getting scored on is, bad challenges and then rotation errors. That's kind of the two biggest things that I always see for OSU.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just saw in that last game not too long ago, tiny little mistakes. That's exactly what happens in these tournaments. I mean, that's all it takes, and it could all go downhill from there. And we saw in the last match of that series, just one little mistake from the Illini, and it kind of just kept piling on. And so it's going to be really crucial here in this next game how the Scarlet team is going to be able to maybe take advantage of those small little errors that come into play, because that can really lead to a nice, comfortable victory over the next, or the next 3 matches or 2 matches, depending on how it plays out.
Yeah, and Rocket League's such a fast game, small little errors, especially now, in this 2022 meta right now. Players are so quick to challenge stuff. Take this Scarlet team back in time to like 2016, 2015 for RLCS, and we'd be like competitors for that. I mean, if you guys go back and watch VODs from like old RLCS, these players were really slow to capitalize on a lot of the counterattack opportunities. They had like dedicated goalies and stuff. It was a really weird time. So seeing the teams now and how the meta's evolved to where teams like this are, college teams, and like seeing some of even the lower level teams, like it's insane to see how the meta's evolved and how these players have really taken this game to unbelievable heights.
Yeah, absolutely. but I think, especially over watching last week's matches, it's kind of crazy to me because I always go away from Rocket League for a while, and then I come back to it, and I'm just like mesmerized of how much has actually changed. Like, you wouldn't think, there's only so much that you could do, but there's so much more that people are evolving and being able to perform, and just like the mechanics, people just get better and they get more clean and more. It's like a perfectionist with his work.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I step away from Rocket League and I come back, it's like when I thought I was getting closer, I was actually just getting like 2 steps behind.
Yeah, actually, fun little Rocket League trivia fact, I guess. We'll see if anyone in chat knew this. So flip resets are a pretty big thing now. Feel like a lot of players are able to do them. Flip resets actually weren't in the game when the game first released in 2015. You weren't able to, get you weren't able to save your flip. So no matter how you got a flip, you would lose it after that, set period of time.
Yeah.
But when Rocket Leagues came out, or when Rocket Labs was the, quirky maps that were different than the standard ones, there was the one overpass that had the little lips on the side that you could ramp off of. Psyonix thought it'd be fun to, be able to save your flip forever if you ramped off of that. So that was where an update came out to where if you're not jumping off of a surface, you'll save your flip forever. And so that's kind of like completely evolved freestyling. And a lot of these mechanics, like licks jumping coming out, where you can save your flip off the wall, ceiling shots where you're falling, then flip resets off the ball where you can save that flip forever, or even, squishy saves coming off the goal and coming out. You get to keep your flip forever on that. I think that was kind of a lot of people don't know that it was an update that, kind of just changed the entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to go into a break here. Lobbies aren't ready yet, but we'll be back here in a short amount of time, so we'll see you soon.
See ya. That was quick. We're back. We're ready. I think all the players are in the lobby, so we should be good to go anytime now.
Yep, absolutely. We're kicking off game 1 here. Ohio State, Scarlet team, Xavier University. Let's see how this one plays out.
Yeah, some players to look out for here. Definitely Temp. Seems like, wow, Broseph actually coming out swinging. I was going to say, actually, Broseph I know was the player that I've seen play before. Really quick on that attack there, actually. And Stu almost having the save. Or not Stu, Deson almost having the save, but not quite.
Yeah, really fast. There's just 6 seconds to get the goal, but obviously Ohio State did what they could from Deson, especially, to try and get that save. But now Xavier's got a really big edge so far, and that's all it takes is 1 goal really early on to make the difference. So let's see how Ohio State responds. Stu here just trying to get a nice attacking counterplay there, and good defense from Broseph, and it's like a little awkward for Ohio State right now.
Yeah, this hesitation coming out early. Tempo's doing a great job at controlling that ball all the way to the opponent's half. Good job so far. I mean, at least be able to hit it. Temp with a great save there.
Yeah, really, honestly, some really good defense from Ohio State. There probably should be a couple more goals right now with the way that Xavier's attacking, but really fantastic, calm defending there. Still only 1-0. Stu here just trying to get an attacking play, and he's able to take on the corner. And good block from Broseph, but there is a down. This might be really awkward. Just couldn't really do anything with that, but good attempt there from Ohio State.
Yeah, Temp going for a lot of reads here. We're not really getting the clears that I'd like to see. Our OSU players are hitting the ball a little soft starting out. I think they're still, getting used to the pitch. Whoa. Everyone just, not really knowing who's going to hit it.
It's really awkward right now.
Job opportunity from OSU.
And it goes
Wow,
in.
bar down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really awkward stuff from everyone.
Yeah.
That must have been just like everyone scrambling there, everyone panicking. But honestly, really good, just nice, easy tap in to be able to just say, all right, you know what, let's shut this down. Let's go to kickoff. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Even game.
Yeah, in those moments, where Xavier was just super confused, it's really smart for OSU to just throw that on the backboard and have that third player, shoot it. Because then they're going to all commit for that. Great save there from Stu. A bunch of double commits. I think OSU's kind of not really knowing who's going for what. Comms needed to tighten up a little bit because Xavier's definitely staying very, very tight with the rotation. I mean, there you see one of their players backflipping because they saw another one going for it.
Yeah, really good defensive play there. They're just OSU trying to get some passing play there, and looks like Dasan's able to do that here, and these two tried to follow up, but it's looking like a nice counter here from Xavier, but see how Ohio State responds.
Yeah, Xavier doing a great job keeping that pressure on. OSU have a chance for a counterattack. I think it's going to be, actually, no, not quite shut down by Valor.
Really good shot
Big
attempt there
here
from Stu. It's just able to hit it off the ceiling and make it really awkward there, but Stu almost gets that. Let's see if he's able to get that save. Oh, a little bit of a rough flip there to get back on the ground, but ball's away from goal. Still an even game here, coming in with about 2 minutes left to go. It's a really close game so far.
Yeah, Xavier has all the pressure in the world right here. OSU really needs to take it back with a big clear.
Attempts able to get that away. Just hit it towards the midfield. A little bit of an awkward there. Double commit maybe. Son's taking it up the wall here. Brosev's just trying to defend. Let's see how this one plays out.
OSU so far doing a great job reading all the touches that Xavier's going for. You know, being able to see where their car's oriented.
Yeah, it looks like Dasan's
OSU
here got
needs that
some
counterattack.
time. Here, Stu's able to...
Great pass.
Oh, it's a really close, really good passing opportunity, but again, you know, both sides doing a really solid job rotating defensively and offensively, just trying to maybe edge it out here, see...
Yeah, both teams are having a lot of opportunities to score. They're just not quite connecting it. Xavier had a big chance, just couldn't hit the... Wow, it actually still pinching off of the defender there.
Yeah,
I was going to say
see
the counterattacks just aren't connecting, but yeah, Stu being able to read where Brosev's going and just, you know, truck that in.
Yeah, I was just able to bulldoze that in. I mean, oh, you know, what else could you do? You know, nothing fancy there. Just drive the car into the ball and put it in the net. Got about a minute, 20 seconds left. 2-1 here, but... Oh, okay.
Great pass there. Wow.
What a fantastic shot to be able to put that towards the backside with such pace as well. I mean, it says only 79 miles per hour, but I don't think anyone was saving that with those two defenders there. Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the passes. I mean, they've been coming out all game. It's just eventually Xavier's not going to be ready for it. OSU, I mean, that pass just giving it straight to the mid. Xavier's been able to read it a lot, but I think specifically on that, they just didn't have anyone on the defense ready because they had so much pressure. And so that's where it comes down to, you know, even if your passes are getting shut down and your shots are getting shut down, it's important to just keep shooting. Because eventually you're going to get it through. As long as you keep possession, you'll eventually score.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's huge momentum based on that. I mean, when you're able to just constantly attack, it's really discouraging for the defender, and it gets really frustrating. But I was going to say earlier, I mean, based on the way this game is played, it was going to be tough for any more goals to come through, but it's looking like Ohio State's pulling away here with another 2 goals from that 2-1 lead not too long ago. Yeah, it looks like this game's going to get wrapped up here. Only 38 seconds to go, and like I said, based on the way this game's playing, I don't know how many more goals there could be. It's really tight, but Ohio State's just able to pull through here on the positive side. Son here just trying to hit it in the net from half field, but really good solid play here from Ohio State.
Yeah, smart couple last minutes. OSU definitely showing a lot of dominance here at the end. Was pretty even, close game in the beginning. But we've definitely taken the lead here, gotten a lot of momentum. Hopefully we can take that into the next game.
Well, Brosev there going for it looked like an intended pass, to be honest, here off the backboard of Valor. That was a really good play there. And Valor's just able to tap that in. Looks, I mean, he makes it look easy. I sure as I couldn't do that. Coming in here with 11 seconds to go. Ohio State leading 4-2. It's looking like this game's going to get wrapped up.
Yep, OSU just wanted to control the ball here. Xavier having a chance, but OSU better get that out and close this game out 4-2.
Yeah, great solid win there from Ohio State, but I think what's really important to know is honestly I mean, at the beginning of the game, it was so close. I really didn't know who was going to pull through there, but then, you know, we saw some goals here that was able to pull Ohio State into the lead pretty comfortably as well. I mean, a 4-2 win is not easy to do, especially, you know, in this tournament. it just comes to show, like, I mean, close games like this, they could go anyway.
Yeah, definitely was a not really a rocky start, but it was definitely very close. A lot of stuff was getting shut down from us, and then we were shutting down a lot of Xavier's stuff. So it was just kind of a battle of attrition in the beginning. But then OSU just kind of had that breakthrough moment. They were able to get that one really meaningful point, and then Xavier just kind of started to shut down. So that momentum is really important going to this next game. I mean, a best of three, taking this 4-2, especially having the last goal, the last answer. It's going to be huge for OSU coming into this match point.
Yep, absolutely. And looks like here there's no signs of an early goal, which was crucial in the last match there. But nonetheless, Ohio State's really getting some attacking play here. Looks like Xavier's on the back foot. See how this one plays out. Brosov able to just kind of clear that away, but Temp with a really good read. I mean, that is really crucial right now for Ohio State's game, to be able to read every single one of Xavier's shots and be able to maybe, score off of it.
Yeah, OSU having the pressure, just, Temp going for that, not quite being able to reach it. Pass a little bit too strong. Xavier with a counterattack, but Stu's in the back there. Yeah, game plan definitely for OSU is just keep that pressure on. Xavier wants to tighten up their defense a little bit. Actually, a shot opportunity from Ratio, able to sneak that in the top shelf.
Yeah, that was really good play from Xavier. Obviously, just making it really difficult for Ohio State to get a nice, clean, direct hit. Temp there tried to backflip and adjust his car there to get the read, and I think it was Stu there that tried to get it off the wall, or maybe it was Dasan. But yeah, it was really difficult there to defend, and just when we thought Ohio State, was putting Xavier on the back foot, Xavier was able to turn it around, and that's what makes these games so interesting. It appears as if something or some team is dominating, but at any time, any moment, that could just completely flip on its head.
Yeah, it really just takes that one thing, and that again, I mean, it was the counterattack, and that's something I've been talking about is Scarlet leaving themselves open to those counterattacks, going a little bit too far, and then they just kind of have a free reign. Actually, Temp with a nice shot there was saved by Brosov.
Yeah, Ohio State's doing everything they can right now to just kind of put the pressure on Xavier, not make it so comfortable for them to have this 1-0 lead. It's about 2 minutes have passed so far, which, I mean, based on the last game's performances, it's a huge chunk of time. And, well, okay, Dasan's able to just sneak that in to the top corner. What a fantastic shot. And Xavier, I don't think, could do anything. Nice little twisting and turning there, and what an angle to put that in.
Yeah, a bit of an unfavorable touch there from Valor on the backboard. Able to 50 that up. It was a really tight angle, though, so really great shot there from Dasan, be able to sneak that in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really good reads.
And we got about 2 minutes left. Nice little pass there
Great
from
pass
Temp.
here.
Oh, really
And
good
back.
play.
Oh, my God.
What a fantastic Ohio State team goal right there. Temp to Stu.
That is so textbook.
Dasan. Oh, that is textbook. That's what you dream of when you play Rocket League, honestly. That was just beautiful. And at exactly the 2-minute mark, we've got a 2-1 lead for Ohio State. Fantastic play. That was so exciting to see.
Yeah, those textbook passes. That's what we want to see more of, is some really solid passes, getting away from the defenders. Because it's not enough really at this level to just look for your teammates. You have to also, analyze your the defenders on the other side and wonder, is this actually going to get this around them, or is this going to be intercepted, and are they going to be able to counterattack it? And right there, I mean, hitting it back with a flip reset from Dasan. Dasan's taking over right now.
Wow. I mean, what a goal. I don't think I've seen that.
The flip reset?
Yeah, I mean, not watching Ohio State,
like,
but that
like
was
that,
wow. I'm shocked right now. I'm like paralyzed in place. I'm standing. That was beautiful.
Thankfully, I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Xavier must be in shock too, because it's looking like Ohio State just keeps putting the pressure on right now. Stu's coming in hot, but Valor's able to get that away. But I mean, really good reads here from Ohio State. They're doing an excellent job just putting the pressure on the attack and keeping the ball away. But Brosov there's just trying to shove it down the line. But Ohio State, like we said, doing a fantastic job at attacking and defending. It seemed like a really close game, but it looks like Ohio State's definitely got control of this one, especially with the way that Dason's just been with that goal. I mean, that would have thrown me off if I was on the other team. I would have already given up.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with last game. Is like the OSU team that started out the match does not seem like the same OSU team that's in this last half. It's awesome and also strange to see, that volatility. It's a little bit scary, but then that shock factor, really gets to him. I'm sure, Xavier was not ready for that flip reset because they haven't seen it from OSU yet, so they just kind of weren't expecting it, and that's kind of that shock factor that definitely helps OSU to open up that defense.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was Dason, I would have been screaming in my chair right now. I'm sure he was.
Yeah, and OSU showing great adaptability here.
Oh, really good pass attempt there from Dason, just trying to find someone open in the middle. But coming into the last minute here, it's looking like Ohio State's just really still trying to put the pressure on. I think that's exactly what they need to do. I mean, that's the game that they play, and see how Xavier responds to this. They're just trying everything they can, throwing numbers up to try and be able to pull this series back. But 40 seconds left. Dason's here just hitting it up. Temp's trying to maybe deflect it away, make it awkward.
Oh. Dason not quite reading what his teammate was doing there. Xavier have a chance for a counterattack. Passes it to Valor, not quite able to connect that there, and Tim gets it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And looks like they're going to turn that defending play into attacking there. Stu just trying to maybe either fake it or maybe trying to hit it. Brosephere's taking it down, getting some really good flip there. Nice pass.
Great shot there from Valor.
Really good passing play. That was great. I mean, they've got 11 seconds, but they're still showing some character here, trying to come into the last bit of this game, trying to maybe bring it back and make it 3-3 to send it into overtime, but they only got 11 seconds to do it. Let's see if Ohio State can
Xavier definitely showing their game IQ in this last bit here. Be able to read OSU pretty well on attack. OSU taking possession of this. Dason just looking to control that. Xavier gonna have one last counterattack. Shut down by OSU. Be able to close that game out 2-0.
Yeah.
Great performance there.
Absolutely. That was really good mechanical play and team play right there to be able to close out that series from Ohio State. Xavier, fantastic job. They played a really good game, honestly. They did a lot that they could, but Ohio State was just able to be able to kind of take the series. But, I mean, it was a really close game in the beginning of both matches, honestly. And that just comes to show, like, how, when these teams win, it's a really, really big deal when they advance on. But it is double elimination. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier, just like last week. So teams still have another chance to be able to make it through if they kind of want to pull together and maybe get all their marbles right. But fantastic win from Scarlet nonetheless.
Yeah, and Scarlet going to the next match against a seed higher than them. Definitely played well. I think Xavier had some really good game IQ. OSU did a really good job adapting to that, though. So that's something that's really important that I want to see definitely this next game when they face some tougher opponents is going to be that adaptability. Because they started a little rocky both games. So that's something that you can't really do against these higher seeded teams because they're going to take advantage of that instantly. And it doesn't matter if you're adapting them later on. You're already down by 4 or 5 goals just because you couldn't keep up in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little scary going on. Something that I definitely want to keep in mind for OSU, for both our Scarlet and Gray team, because they both kind of had aspects of that.
Yeah.
Do we know which game we're going into next? I think it might be Gray.
Nah, but we do have some score updates for some of the other games. So the Gray team actually lost to Michigan Tech 2-0. But the Beanz team was able to, the club Beanz team was able to take a win 2-0 against WMU Gold team. So those are some of the score updates that we have so far. But we don't know what game we're going into next. But when we'll come back, we'll be able to tell you. Fantastic game to watch, but we'll see you in a little bit.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We do know which match is coming up now. We have Scarlet, our OSU Premier team, versus the Waterloo Warriors here. Still best of three. Scarlet taking a really good win last match. Couple of pretty decisive games, but it was definitely really close starting in. So this is a game that I definitely want to look out for. This team's going to be a little bit higher up there, a little bit more tight and mechanically skilled. So I want to watch out for these beginnings. That's something, right? Beginning out this match, I want to watch out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last game, our OSU Premier Scarlet team is 6th seed and Xavier is 11. Now coming into this game, we've got Waterloo at 3. And it looks like we're just hopping right into the match here. We've got 1-0 lead for Ohio State. About 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. But
it's actually reversed. We're blue, so we're actually
down
one, sadly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got confused.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We're used to being orange here.
Yeah, maybe that's what threw me off. I don't know why I got so used to it, but yeah, down 1-0. Already coming in strong here. We haven't seen much play yet, but we'll see how this plays out.
Whoa.
Wow, really big mix-up there from Ohio State. That really costed them a chance to tie the game there. It was an open goal, but Vanilla Range is able to clear that away.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying in the beginning, right? I mean, we had 3 players all bump each other there on a counterattack. That is not what you want to see starting out this first 2 minutes of your first match, especially of a best of 3.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Yeah, and we're not sure when they scored, depending on how early on it was. But, I mean, still, it was around the first 2 minutes of the game, and that's very crucial, honestly, that period of time. But, yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. It's really unfortunate because that would give them nice, good attitude going into the remainder of the game. But still, Ohio State doing a good job, a good solid job defending there, but a little bit of a mix-up on the attack. But we'll see how they respond to this coming into the last 2.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, Dasan going for that. These players definitely seem like they've recuperated from that. Both teams seem to be playing pretty solid. I like seeing, always having that third player at the ball ready to challenge. But actually, great shot there from Vanilla Rain. Think it off of the side post, hit off that corner, getting it in there.
Yeah, and this is just a really fantastically placed shot. I mean, I don't think he could have hit that back post. The only place he really could have depended on was that post to be able to sneak it in. And, yeah, I mean, he gets it done there with about 2 minutes left. The Waterloo Warriors are up 2-0 against our Scarlet team, but it's still anyone's game. Anything can happen. Really awkward there in front of goal. Let's see what Stu's able to do here. Qualifiers is just able to clear it away, and Waterloo's getting some really good attacking play there. Still anyone's game, but solid performances from both sides. Going to be really difficult for Ohio State to sneak this one in.
Ooh, great save there from Virus.
Yeah, absolutely. Dasan, they're just trying to kind of bulldoze it in like we've seen before, but Waterloo's just able to clear that away, and they're doing a really good job just subduing Ohio State's pressure right now.
Yeah, I think these players definitely still easing into this a little bit. I think OSU kind of not trusting their teammates a little bit at this beginning, going for some balls so their teammate definitely could beat them too. Oh, and a great sneak around from Virus there. Yeah, just that defense was a little tough. A couple of OSU players just not really. Yeah, okay, so it was that demo bumped into Dasan, kind of throwing their rotation off.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, usually the demo kind of, throws off the rotation and, of the team. But right there was all 3 players, kind of around that demo, and it was able to just kind of throw their car off balance and really put them out of position. I mean, good play by Waterloo to be able to make it really awkward for Ohio State. But coming into the last minute here, Waterloo's up 3-0. It's looking like they're probably going to be able to close this one out, but anything can happen. It is car ball after all.
Yep. Yeah, it's just those little mistakes, and I've said this before, is those little mistakes, better teams are going to be able to capitalize on those more often, and we're seeing that now with Waterloo, being right on the jump, fully prepared for OSU to mess even the slightest thing up.
Yeah, that was a really good passing play by Tempt. He saw the 2 people on the wall there, and he was just trying to get it so that they couldn't defend it there, and unfortunately it wasn't close enough to an Ohio State player to capitalize. But last 20 seconds here, Ohio State's just trying to throw the ball up, maybe get a goal here. Time's running out, but it's looking like Waterloo's going to be able to close this one out for the first match in the series.
Yeah, I think OSU just needs to slow down a bit, just breathe. Temp was just kind of all over the ball there. Faked it like 5 times, but it's fine. You know, you just take a little break, think about what went wrong. I think it was definitely just those little mistakes. You know, Stu bumping his teammate, rotation not being there, that communication. They didn't really have any chances for anything on offense, really, from what I saw in those 3 minutes. Just because Waterloo was doing such a great job at shutting them down because they weren't getting that ball fast, you know, because they didn't have their positioning tight, because they were making those little mistakes. You know, one thing leads on to another, and it costs you a 3-0 loss in the first game of a best of 3. You know,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah, it's really crucial for Waterloo right now. They've got a 1-0 lead in the series, and that plays a huge advantage. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see the first 2 minutes of the game, but with them being 1-0 up, and then we saw the result thereafter, we could kind of see, you know, kind of make a guess as to what's going on, honestly, from Ohio State. But looking forward to the next game, what are some positives to take away, and what do you think they need to do in order to maybe bring this series back coming into game 2?
Yeah, Waterloo is playing this really fast and loose. They're not really making too many mistakes, but the thing is, they're just kind of on another level of speed from OSU that when they do have those openings, like right here, you know, with that double commit, OSU hasn't really been able to have the wherewithal to be able to capitalize on that. So I think OSU has been doing a good job at trying to read this stuff. They have the right idea. They just, you know, need to hunker down and really think about what they're doing.
Yeah, really good shot attempt there.
At least ahead of time.
Stu just trying to follow up there. OSU coming out really strong right now, just trying to get an early goal. Take the lead as early on as possible. Throw off Waterloo, but still haven't seen a goal from Ohio State in this series yet.
Ooh.
A bit of a miss shot there from Temp, and a demo from Vanilla Rain, probably to just clear it up and give Waterloo some time to prevent any errors here.
Yeah, and it's opportunities like that shot that you really need to take if you wanna start building momentum. Stu had that read, I believe, just was able to get it out. Yeah, OSU definitely has all the pressure right now.
Cool.
They're just not able to really get anything solid.
Unfortunately, not some clean connects, but I'm sure that they will be one here coming up here soon. They're putting a lot of pressure on Waterloo, and there we go.
Wow.
Deshaun's able to get a nice block in. I mean, I figured with all this pressure and all this attacking play, they would be able to squeeze one in eventually. And really good read there from Deshaun there to just go up for it and say, you know what, we've got to block this. We've got to get this in. And they take the 1-0 lead. Yeah, 3 minutes, 38 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say, Waterloo on defense, I mean, Go Rocks got up there early. You know, he was able to recognize the situation super early, which Waterloo's been able to do a lot that really contributes to their speed. But OSU, I mean, Deshaun there being able to just read that and get it through no matter what, that's going to be huge to getting shots around Waterloo's defense here.
Yeah, really good defending play.
For a little bit of Goomba stomp.
Yeah, that was a really good defensive play, honestly. It was really awkward, and usually in those situations, I just kind of accept the goal because I wouldn't know what to do, but really good defensive play there from Waterloo, and Ohio State almost took that 2-0 lead, but Ohio State's really committing some numbers forward right now in a positive way, trying to get that 2-0 lead. Waterloo's struggling just a little bit, just trying to clear, but really good reads here from both sides. Really close game.
Yeah, OSU's been stepping up their speed a lot. They're getting some really good clears. Players have been able to keep with the ball, get some decent 50s. You can definitely tell their speed has really increased. They're really connecting with their players, and that's the one thing that I was saying that they really need to, you know, look at for this next game here, and they're definitely doing that. And you know, we're seeing it in the scoreline right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're holding on for the most part, but it's, you know, any mistake could cost them.
Yep, and we're coming here into the last about 2 minutes left, 2 minutes 15 seconds, and it's still only 1-0, only one goal between both sides, but Ohio State taking the lead right now. And honestly, with the way this game's playing, I'm not sure how many more goals we'll see. Really good, solid defensive play from both sides, and let's see what Deshaun's able to do here. Hits it towards the middle. Stu, they're just trying to get a block.
Yeah, and honestly, OSU just needs to keep the pressure on. They can't start playing defensive just because they're up a goal. Waterloo's a team that, you know, if you're not challenging stuff, they're gonna be able to set up something unsavable. That's
Yeah,
definitely not what you
really good
want. Open
passing
net there from
play.
Stu.
That was awesome. Another awesome read for another passing play. I was just about to say there was another pass attempt earlier where Stu was just trying to dodge forward to get a shot, but it pays out for the second time now when Stu comes through. Now they're 2-0 ahead. The minute 40 left. Waterloo's going to struggle, especially with the way that both teams have been playing defensively to try and bring this back. But really good play from Ohio State. Coming in.
Yeah, Ohio State's done a really good job keeping those mistakes tight, and Waterloo's honestly doing the opposite. Not really sure what they were doing with that ball there, faking a little bit, but Waterloo's having a little bit more openings here, and Stu be able to get off that pass there in the top shelf, bringing up 3-0 for OSU here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, 3-0 up. I mean, last game we saw Waterloo take the win at 3-0, and I thought maybe that was just due to some small errors there on Ohio State's part, and it's looking like the same for this game. Both teams are doing a really fantastic job, and I think the 3-0 lead is deceiving in terms of the skill level between both teams, but really a well-earned 3 goals from Ohio State. Great passing play, great attacking play. Just comes down to small mistakes, and 3 small mistakes have led to 3 goals for Ohio State, coming in with a minute remaining left in this second game of the series.
Yeah, at the end of the day, any goal that's scored comes from some sort of mistake. You know, if everyone's playing perfectly, then no goals are going to be scored. Wow, awesome save there from Temp, actually.
Yeah.
But OSU's just done a great job being able to get the ball around their defenders. You know, their defenders not really having the positioning that they really need for a lot of these passing plays that OSU is sending out. Passing play coming out from Waterloo, but OSU is able to read it. It's kind of the reverse story of what happened last game.
Yeah, we only got 30 seconds remaining, and just on that last shot there from Waterloo, Temp was able to read that passing play. Really good shot there, and another really good save. Vanilla Rain. Oh, and another good save right there to prevent. Oh, that's unfortunate.
It had to come eventually. Temp was a monster in the net there. Be able to read that so well and actually get it to a pretty favorable position. Stu just wasn't able to get the flick that he needed to get that out.
Yeah, and honestly, with the way Waterloo were just playing right there, they probably should have scored 5 to 10 seconds earlier, giving them some more time, but really good defensive play from Ohio State. Unfortunately, it had to come. You know, it was really awkward for all 3 of them, but fantastic job to hold it out there with the last 15 seconds. But now we're coming in with just 5 seconds left to go, and it looks like Ohio State's going to take this one for a 4-1 lead. Yeah, another open net there. I mean, obviously Waterloo just trying to commit numbers forward. You know, they know they've kind of lost this, but yeah, 4-1 looking like so far. Oh, maybe there might be another 2 seconds left to go. You never know. We'll see.
Yeah, 3 goals in 2 seconds. Not going to be doable here for Waterloo. OSU is going to take that 4-1, tying the series up 1-1 overall. This is match point here. You know, next team to take this next game, they take the match, knock the other to losers. Definitely not a position Scarlet wants to be in after coming this close. They want to take this match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like the team that scores the first goal right now in this upcoming game, I think is going to take the series because both sides are so close. And being a goal down is such a huge contributing factor to the way that you play. Especially now coming into the last match between both of these sides, the last match in the series. And like you said, match point, the pressure is on for both sides. Anything you're looking forward to in Ohio State in this last match?
Yeah, like you were saying, that momentum we have coming in, I definitely want to see that utilized. OSU did a great job at adapting to the team. Something I've seen time and time again with the OSU team is starting a little rocky. Like with the beginning here, I mean, we had 1 goal and it was a little tough. We were kind of fighting, you know, nail by nail there, but then we were able to really break through at the end there and get a lot of goals consecutively. That's something that OSU does really good at. So this momentum coming in, I definitely want to see OSU keep that up. I feel like if Waterloo gets an early goal, then OSU, that mental game is going to start to deteriorate, and we don't want to see that here in this final game. You know, the pressure's on.
Yeah, absolutely. Kickoff there starting strong from both sides. 2 different blocks here. Both teams are going to do everything they can to put the pressure on the other side and make it difficult and not make it an easy win, which is, you know, exactly what you want to see from both sides.
Great clear there from Stu. Deson's going to look to follow this up. Able to get a decent 50. OSU has... Ooh, Stu faking that out with 0 boost. Yeah, definitely smart plays there from Temp to get that out. OSU just wants to get this out of their half here.
Yeah, these Go Rocks Go finds a pass to Virus, but Temp's able to follow through here. Really awkward in the middle. Nice block from Vanilla Rain. Really good shot there from Deson. Try and hit it back post away from the defenders, but Waterloo doing a fantastic job just trying to clear it up. Really close match so far.
Yeah, OSU's going to want a little bit more power on those shots if they want to get around Waterloo's defense. Just getting that clear out, I mean, they were doing a good job of just, sending the ball as far down as they could and then following up, but just a little bit of misreads. I think they're, as long as they can start to connect something, I think they have all the pressure in the world here.
Temp's got a really good opportunity right now. He reads that block, and he gets another just barely. Might throw off Waterloo here. Deson there just trying to block it forward. That would have been the last defender to deal with.
Great 50 there. It's just one defender. They just need to get around one. Seems like they're almost able to do that. Go Rocks having a great read on defense there. OSU almost getting that around.
Yeah, he was.
Vanilla Rain going for an air dribble here. Doesn't quite get it around.
Yeah, really good play
OSU's
from both sides right now. Go Rocks Go right there. Just was the last man standing, and he cleared the ball into the corner, but just when you thought the goal was open for Ohio State, he was able to get a last-second block. And they were able to counter, and they almost scored as well. I mean, this is a really close, really entertaining game here. We got about the last 3 minutes to go, and no goals from either side, but it's anyone's game right now.
Yeah, both teams are fighting for this first one. I think it really is just whoever's able to get that opportunity first will take all the momentum away and be able to really get something going. OSU's had a lot of shot opportunities that aren't quite connecting. Waterloo's had some great pressure so far, but they haven't really gotten anything from it. So I think both teams are just vying for that first opportunity, really, to just get it in.
Yeah, I mean, really close on any block from both sides. I mean, a block goes, just barely stalls. There are 2 demos there, one for each side. That's how they respond on a temporary 2v2, but nothing really seems to happen there. But yeah, it's not like either side's not really putting too much pressure. What a really great shot there from Vanilla Rain. That was pretty much unstoppable, I'd have to say.
Unbelievable angle there. Yeah, and Temp actually tapping it in there. I'm not sure if it would have been in, but that's just an unlucky situation. For Temp to be in that angle is insane. I think all these players are honestly fighting like their life depends on it, playing unbelievably fast. Going for every ball, be able to stay solid. Shot here, Virus is able to get it out there. Not quite. OSU maybe having a chance here. Temp just sitting off of the top. Not able to get anything out of that. I think OSU's going for some passing plays here. Definitely want to be a little bit smarter with where they're sending the ball.
Temp there just trying to get the read off the wall. Really smart there. Almost got it. A little bit of a misjump there from Vanilla Rain. Really close game here coming into the last minute and 30 seconds. The pressure is all on for Ohio State to try and tie this one up. Waterloo doing a really good job just trying to keep the attacking play going.
OSU in a pretty awkward position. I'm not sure. Waterloo's not... Oh, maybe. Waterloo's not really in a position to challenge it, but with that fake there from Temp, now they are. Off the backboard there. Not able to get anything. Their defender was just off the top. Not really able to get any momentum for that save. And Vanilla Rain, again, able to get a really nice angle there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we saw 2 possessions on that left side there where somebody either faked it or missed it. And it kind of led to some really awkward play there. And in this case, it led to a goal. So coming in the last minute and 10 seconds, Ohio State's going to have to really buckle down and show some concentration here if they're going to want to be able to tie this series up. But Waterloo's playing a fantastic game. It's going to be really difficult too.
Yeah, it's that momentum I was talking about. It's so hard for OSU to get anything back after they lose so much momentum. Great shot there from Stu, but Go Rocks Go just being able to be on that defense there, saving his team from what could have been the turning point for OSU here. Now we have to fight for another opportunity. Saw not able to touch that. It's really tough. We're not really able to get anything out here. I think Waterloo's staying very solid on keeping their possession.
Really good read there from Virus.
Yeah, OSU's just going to be sending shots here. And that's really all they can do in these last 30 seconds.
Oh, really good passing play there. I think Stu was
Wow.
looking for Temp there to maybe tap it in afterwards, or maybe the shot at the near post, but really good play. And
Wow, these reads from Waterloo.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Go Go is just able to tap that in for a nice 3-0 victory. It's looking like 3-goal differential seems to be the story here for this series.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to really quantify, how important that momentum is, but you can see it in these games. I mean, Waterloo taking first game 3-0, then OSU taking last game 4-1, up by 3. It's, as soon as a team really gets that hold on the other team's play style, there's not much you can do to come back from it. Waterloo's so dominant here. OSU hasn't been able to really do anything.
Yeah, GGs are on the board from both sides, but what a really well-played series. I think the 3-goal differential really on all 3 games, I mean, I don't think that really reflects how good or bad, like the difference between the skill on both teams, because both teams were really fantastic there. Unfortunate slip-up there from Ohio State there in the last match of the series, but nonetheless a fantastic series to watch from both sides and really good attacking and defending play from both teams.
Yeah, it was as soon as we lost that foothold, Waterloo being such a great team. I mean, having Go, I know, seeing his name like in the professional scene around, at least being able to compete at the highest level. When you have players like that on the other team, it's hard to, keep that momentum going. You had that three-goal differential win, but when you have top level competitors, they're gonna think about what they did wrong, right? They're gonna reflect on themselves, and they're gonna be able to change that on the fly. That's really what separates good players from great players. So you have to be ready for that. You have to always be ready to change something on the fly, but then also play your game. It's important to be able to change stuff, but you don't want to try to do too much, like I've said, or do too little. If you're not going fast for balls, not having that third player, and you're giving up too much ground, that's where you can start to slip. And I think that's where we saw OSU. That's what we saw happen to OSU a bit in that last game. They started to slip, started to not really challenge stuff, got a little lazy, and Waterloo's awesome offense was just able to, slap stuff in. Not really much OSU could do about that. Hopping into
another match
here. I believe this was still best of 3. Maybe they're just playing for fun.
Oh, I think it was a best for 5.
This is a replay? And then it shouldn't be a best of 5. Yeah, this was... Okay, so we'll just take this game, I suppose.
Yeah.
We have OSU actually down by 1, starting out super early.
No problem at all. Got, early goal there from Waterloo. See how Ohio State responds to this.
Yeah, coming off of this, OSU not having a lot of boost here for anything in this play. I think Waterloo's going to be able to get this out. Yeah, Waterloo looking to just play the same game that they have been playing. OSU's looking to play a little bit faster, hopefully.
Got about 4 minutes left to go here. Still really early game. It's looking a little bit awkward here. Sans here, able to try and get some attacking play there off backboard.
Okay, so we do have confirmation this is a best of 5, actually. So the scoreline should be 1 game for OSU and then 2 for Waterloo. So we're not out of it yet, actually.
Okay, all right. Well, see, that's good news. It's been really close for both sides.
Yeah, we need to see that momentum come back. And we do. Tie it up for Dasan here, bring it up 1-1. Yeah, keeping that game tight. Hopefully OSU's learned a little bit from the last game, not giving up too much space to the Warriors here.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's the first time in the series that it has been tied. So it should be interesting to see how this game plays out in particular, because it's just been winning leads from both sides, whoever took the victory. But 1-1 here. Let's see how it plays out. Good save there from Dasan. Was really close to being a second goal for Waterloo. Let's see how they... Oh, nice good hit there from Dasan there with minimal boost. Really impressive there.
Yeah, with every game pretty much we've been able to see a really tight game in the beginning, and then one team really drives away with it. So again, in the beginning here, this first 2 minutes being tied up, we're just kind of waiting to see which team just overtakes the other and is able to take something. Virus and be able to read that touch really well there.
Yeah, I think the
Sneak that in the
song
top
was,
right.
well, Stu here, I think maybe was looking for just, yeah, either to control it or just trying to hit it up, but unfortunate.
Yeah.
Nice little pass there to Virus, unintentionally, but good read from him. 2-1, really close lead here with this amount of time remaining. We haven't seen this before in the series, so we'll see how this pans out.
Yeah, Waterloo controlling this ball really well for kickoffs. I feel like that's been a big thing that Waterloo's been able to do, is actually keep that off the kickoff. Actually, a shot there. Impressive off the wall. Just not able to read that. OSU needs to stay calm. Be able to read stuff quickly, because Waterloo's been able to do that to them right now.
Yeah. It's looking like Ohio State's on the front foot here. Desan, they're just trying to clip it over. Nice shot at the near post there, but Virus is able to get a comfortable save there. Let's see what Stu's able to do. And
nice shot there from Temp.
Oh, that was Temp. Okay, wow. What a tuck in right there. That I don't think that could have really gone anywhere else, and it wouldn't have been a goal. Really good shot there.
Yeah, and Virus being angled backwards in the net. There wasn't a lot you could do about that other than the read. But yeah, great placement there. It's just about getting those shots on you. I mean, OSU had, what, 3 or 4 shots before they finally got that one in. It's just about just keep on shooting on net, play around their defense, make sure you're playing it smart, not leaving yourself open for counterattacks. Eventually you'll be able to get it around them.
Yeah, now we've got a tied matchup here with about 2 minutes left to go. We have not seen this before in this series, so we should see how this plays out. And Gorox goes able to just tap it into the top bins right there. Nice pass from Virus there, maybe with a little help from Desan. Not intentional, but Temp's not able to get that. And it was just really, really close.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of 6th grade soccer in the midfield there. A lot of players challenging the same ball, leaving, one player left on defense. Not a lot you can do about it when you have such a talented player like Gorox there, ready to shoot that wherever he pleases.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ohio State's doing what they can right now with a little bit under pressure here. Temp's going to try and get a big hit here. Misread there from Waterloo, but they're able to still counter here with some numbers, and really good chip up there from Virus, but Desan's able to shut that down. Open net here from Desan. Nice little chip up. See how this plays out. Might be awkward for Waterloo. Temp's able to pop that out. Looks like Virus is able to read that, but really good defending play from Waterloo here. I mean, despite the 2 goals there, they're doing a fantastic job not making this goal differential any bigger. Temp right there runs out of boost, but yeah, really close game here with a minute left to go.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's getting intercepted. I think OSU's good. They're a little slow to the ball this game. And I mean, Temp there running on boost. His teammate was ready for that. He could have left it for his teammate maybe to get something out. It's just little stuff like this that's kind of keeping the game a little bit stagnant right now.
Absolutely. And oh, what a really good save.
Solid opportunity.
Wow. I mean, that was really awkward.
No, OSU played. Wow. All of OSU rotating out there. That was kind of their chance. Waterloo was on the back end. They didn't really have any reads coming out. I feel like that could have been a huge opportunity for OSU.
Yeah, and no one's unfortunately there for that pass across goal. It's just a little bit too far for Desan there. Really good attacking effort from Ohio State, but not able to capitalize, unfortunately. 6 seconds left to go. Looks like Waterloo's going to shut this down.
Go for this Hail Mary.
Ball's up in the air.
Corner. OSU's able to maybe take control. It goes down.
Still up.
Temp's able to read that. Grabs the boost. Goes
forward.
Downfield.
Gorox goes able to.
Waterloo's able to read these. Definitely OSU just needs to keep this up. Stu's on the back there, but Virus hits that way out. No one's able to get there in time, and Waterloo's going to close that out, making the set 3-1 in this best of 5, taking it over OSU here.
Yeah.
So we're knocked to loser's bracket. A tough loss there. Really close. Like, we had some really nice moments there. Really wanted to take that to 2-2, but we just weren't able to, play up to snuff to Waterloo there. They were just able to, kind of outspeed us, outshoot us. A lot of their opportunities they were taking advantage of. A lot of ours we weren't really connecting and we're getting red. So it's just a tough situation here for us.
Yeah, and I think in that last game, there was a couple of small errors that Waterloo was able to capitalize off and be able to get the lead there. But Waterloo made some mistakes in the back too, and Ohio State was maybe just a little awkward, fumbling to try and get the ball in the back, and then unfortunately weren't able to capitalize. But close teams nonetheless. Really close games there. Unfortunately, 3-1 lead for Waterloo there to be able to take the series, but great games nonetheless.
Yeah, and it came down to that boost management, I think, in the end, at least with a couple of those opportunities. Probably not the entire set, but in the end there, I was definitely seeing a lot of players mismanaging some boost here and there, contributing to that rotation stuff, so they weren't really cognizant to be able to capitalize on anything. Which, when you look back, you see it, but then like in the heat of the moment, it's really hard for players to be able to, keep track of that. It's something that really only the top level players do, but it's something that's really important to be able to really maximize your potential to get goals.
Yeah, absolutely. What great matchup between Waterloo and Ohio State. To close out here, we'll go over some scores. Our grade team, our premier grade team, lost to Northern Kentucky Esports 2-0. And our Club Beanz team beat Kentucky 3-0, and our Club Legumez team beat PNW Black 2-1. But we're going to head off to a break here. When we come back, there will be some new faces, so stay tuned. Really good games to commentate over, and I'm glad for anyone who stopped by and is watching this right now, but some great matchups.
Yeah, really.
My name is Jeremy or Germs PC, and welcome back. I am joined now here with Matthew or Martian Turtle. How are you doing today, Matthew? I'm
doing pretty good. Excited to get the rest of these Rocket League matches. I know we're going to be following Scarlet in this next match as they come against the UC Bearcats Black. So excited to see how this one turns out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw a little bit before the break with our previous casters. Unfortunately, the premier gray team is now out of contention for the CRL qualifier, but we still have 3 great teams to see. We've got obviously the Scarlet team, which we'll be following more, and 2 from one of the clubs at the university, the Buckeye Gaming Collective Beanz. They're going to be taking on Carnegie Mellon in Pool 2 in their semifinals, and then also the Legumez, the Buckeye Gaming Collective Legumez, and they're also in the semifinals against the Indiana Hoosiers, which that's going to be a really interesting match. But let's talk a little bit about the Scarlet team. It's going to be against the University of Cincinnati Bearcats, their black team, and it's looking pretty close right now.
Yeah, so Scarlet's coming into this with a 6th seed. The Bearcats are the 9th seed, so pretty evenly matched teams. Unfortunately, the Scarlet team did just drop a game to Waterloo, but obviously Waterloo's a very respectable opponent in this qualifier. Yeah. So, and there, and you got the lower bracket to work with.
Absolutely. So I mean, first we're going to see in this early half a little bit of pressure being put onto the UC Bearcats. Stu is one of the players stepping in right now, and it looks like he wants to try to pick up for Dasan, and Dasan with a nice shot, able to get set up by Stu and an early lead for the Buckeyes.
Absolutely great play by Stu, taking up the wall. He's using his options in the midfield, finds Dasan. Dasan's able to slide into the bottom right corner. Great early goal in the first 20-ish seconds of the game, and that's a great start to the series. Yeah, got
a lot of momentum now coming on for the Buckeyes as we move into this next rotation. Temp able to lose the win 50-50. Stu and Dasan wanting to put this upfield. Ezio with that double commit is unable to do something. And with that boost, Temp might be able to nudge it back in, but Burst able to defend, and Stu is going to have to try to push this back into their own side.
So far, it seems to me that the Buckeyes have all the pressures here. It seems like UC is pretty confident just sitting on their goal line. Obviously, they've conceded once, but we'll see how they continue. This is their first really stint on offense here.
Yeah, and Stu winning that 50-50 is going to be huge. Temp is probably going to try to clear that as Ezio is going up. Dasan actually bringing it up the middle. He's going to try to get it, and Temp is setting him up, but the rotations are in for UC, and we see Stu and Temp trying to bring the pressure on, but Ezio with that nice clear is going to put it back down into midfield for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, that's a great block by Ezio as well to keep it in the orange half. Unfortunately for them, it's going to manage to be collected by Scarlet. Stu's going to try to take this outfield, and Temp fires one towards net, but it'll be saved by Ezio.
Yeah, Ezio with those rotations has just been one of the absolute clutch masters right now as Dasan and Stu are trying to double commit on that ball. Frick, though, going to be able to put that all the way back into midfield, but losing that 50-50 to Dasan. Now Burst has to try to pick up the pace. The ball is still on the side of UC, and those boosts are coming in, but Dasan able to just get an attempt coming into the backfield as Ezio gets taken out. They're now at a 2v3 disadvantage, and Stu wants to bring it to the fight to them. The boost is looking good, but Ezio has just been absolutely critical in these kind of defense positions.
Yeah, here's Temp with an opportunity. I mean, it just seems like a little bit of back and forth. Obviously, these teams will be filling each other out. That will go in by Burst, though. A little bit of a backflip or something on the goal line. Breakdown of defense on Scarlet side, and that ties up the game 1-1.
Yeah, do you think those rotations were just a little sloppy in order to get back in time, or what do you think went down there?
I mean, I just think like there was a bit of a counterattack from the Bearcats. It looked like Scarlet was going to have some pressure in the blue half, and then all of a sudden they just lost control of where the ball was, who was controlling it, and UC was able to capitalize.
No, for sure, and Stu wants to bring the fight to them. Dasan's going to have to try to clear it back as Stu misses the 50-50. Ezio wants to bring it back into midfield. The boost isn't there, and Ezio is trying to set up his team. Frick and Ezio both there, but Stu actually able to take him out with a demo coming out from the other side, but now there's only one player here to defend, and Stu is trying to tap it in, and Dasan able to follow it up, and that's a second on the board for the Buckeyes.
That was a fun little play, Stu, with a cross-court pass to Dasan. Dasan actually goes for the dunk the entire way and sees it through, and then even though he can't land the shot off of the double tap, he's able to punch it in after it bounces down the crossbar. Really brilliant play by the two of them.
Yeah, the teamwork there was definitely there, and with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, obviously this is still anyone's game, and Ezio on a just completely empty goal, able to win the 50-50 off there and get a very decisive and quick goal for the Bearcats.
Yeah, it was a fantastic kickoff by Frick, and Ezio just places that just in the right spot where Temp can't get back to it in time. And I mean, it looked like a fantastic play for Ohio State to take the lead, but unfortunately, a goal is a goal, and UC knows this. We're tied at 2.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting with this kickoff. Verst is able to get control of it, but Frick going up with the commitment, unable to get it. And Ezio actually with that double commit. They're going to bring it onto the side of the Buckeyes, and now we see Frick getting set up, and Stu is unable to defend, and that's a goal, a very quick one for the Bearcats to bring them into the lead.
Yep, this ball just bounced really great pass by Burst, and no one's able to challenge for the OSU side. And when you're sitting on the goal line with a shot like that coming in from Frick, it's going to be a free jump save or it's going in. And obviously this one went in. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to see maybe some tighter defense from the Buckeyes. As we see, it's a 3-2 right now in 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Bearcat is trying to defend, but and a demo actually coming up from Frick. That's going to be pretty hard for the Buckeyes, and the Buckeyes are going to have to try to defend. Ezio looks like he wants to really take the fight to them.
Yep, there's a good cutoff by Stu. They were looking for each other in the midfield, and it looked like UC might be able to intercept the pass, but Stu was able to get there in time. And now we've got some time in the blue half to try to get some offense on the board. There's a pass into the middle. Burst is able to clear it out, but Temp should have this collected. Boost looks a little low for Scarlet, so they're going to have to regroup here and collect some of their boost in the back half.
Yeah, we see Burst is really just trying to take the fight right now to the Buckeyes. Temp's going to have to try to clear that far away. He's able to do so. Dasan and Temp looked like they might have tried to go for a double commit, but Temp actually stealing the path. He might be able to set up Stu here, and Temp with the demo on the carrier. Burst is going to be able to defend against that, but that was a little dicey as Dasan, with no boost, is probably going to have to try to get some rotations, but Temp seems to look like he wants to keep the fight to him. Stu as well. There's another demo coming out. 2 demos in quick successions, but Dasan is going to have to try to come back into midfield to try to defend this pass.
Yeah, something that all these demos are doing is giving the Scarlet team a lot of control here. And that pass is right off the backward. Lovely little double tap, and Temp is able to bury the shot.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. I thought for sure Ezio was just going to be able to far clear that back into midfield, but it got blocked, and Temp and Dasan able to just tap it right in and tying up the game with only a minute left.
Yeah, the mechanics from Dasan there were absolutely incredible, and that's a tough shot to hit, so Temp was just there to make the goal a little bit wider, punch it himself if he needed to, and now we're tied at 3.
Yeah, we saw the kickoff. Temp was able to get it, and Dasan wants to take the fight to them. The pressure's there. It was completely wide open. There was a world where Frick and Burst just were not able to get it back in time, but Frick is trying to bring the ball back onto the side of the Buckeyes, but Dasan has something to say about it. There's a demo in the back. Dasan shoots so close, but it hits the top board. And now Ezio, very close right there, but able to defend and clear it back into the side of the Buckeyes. Frick wants to take it, and the rotations are not there, and Frick is able to bring it up for the Bearcats with only 40 seconds left in the game.
There's a bit of an aggressive sidewall challenge there from Dasan, and Frick was able to beat him, and from there it's just even a 1-on-2. Frick was able to bury that top corner, and no one expected him to get that extra touch. Bearcats take a late lead.
Yeah, 41 seconds left in this game, and the Bearcats are up 4-3. The 50-50 is there, but Burst trying to get it, and actually Stu able to come away with it, setting up Temp. He might try to tap it in, but Ezio is obviously there to clear it back. And now, as the time kind of gets shaved out, the Buckeyes are the ones in the hot seat. 30 seconds left, and Frick is just killing time with these floaters, able to gate so much aggression. And Temp, Stu, Deshaun, this is a triple commit right now on their side, and Temp is on an open field, but Burst, a beautiful save coming out of him and bringing it back into midfield.
Yep, this is an opportunity for Deshaun. He's unchallenged, though, going for the double tap. He hits it, and we're tied again. 4-all with 9 seconds left.
Deshaun has just been absolutely legendary right now and getting those just very tight shots. It hits the backboard. Frick is there to defend, but he taps it again and is just able to bring it in. 9 seconds left. Anyone's game as we tie it up and look to go into overtime.
It's off the crossbar, too. I mean, that shot just bounces down. Deshaun's able to read it. If he puts that off the backboard directly, like, that's probably getting saved. So absolutely fantastic mechanical play out of Deshaun. And unless we see some 0-second heroics, which we will not, we are headed to overtime in Game 1.
Yeah, this is, just an absolutely amazing Game 1 to start us off here. And Stu is able to take control of that ball. First one to score obviously wins this. Temp and winning the 50-50. Deshaun has to try to maybe win this too, but is not able to. This is an empty goal. Frick may be able to get this, but Stu, with that fast rotation, is able to get some defense there and is able to clear it back into midfield. But Burst really looks like he wants to set up his teammate there. Able to hit the crossbar. Ezio able to get the score. And that's the first game for the Bearcats.
It's a great play by Burst. He's able to take control of this ball, flicks it towards the top corner, gets past 2, and at that point it's just a wide open net. Enzio doesn't miss that any day of the week. Bearcats take a crucial Game 1 in this best-of-3 series.
Yeah, I mean, obviously what we just saw there was just some absolute fantastic carball, and it seemed really close.
It was, yes.
I don't even know what to say because it's a best of 3. Obviously, the Buckeyes can come back on this. Scarlet can regroup. They can think about what happened, what went wrong, what didn't. And yeah, maybe hopefully come back and take Game 2 here.
Yeah, the important thing is that, I mean, it's double match point here for the UC Bearcats. This best of 3, we obviously had a best of 5 against the series against Waterloo. We're back to best of 3s now in the lower bracket, so every game matters. And dropping that one is kind of tough. It's not impossible. Obviously, there's plenty of opportunity for Ohio State to win these 2 games, but it's going to be a difficult road.
No, absolutely. I think you're right. And, I wanted to just talk a little bit about the rotations that were coming in because I felt like a lot of times we'd see a lot of commitment to that ball. We saw Deshaun obviously being very aggressive and high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Paid off for a lot, but then we also had that open net issue.
Yeah, no, Deshaun clearly has a lot of confidence right now, and it's getting him to land some beautiful shots and beautiful passes. But unfortunately, there's also some times where it's just breaking rotation a bit too much. So I'd like to see that cleaned up a little bit. The demo plays that Scarlet has been trying to bring out has also been screwing up UC's rotation. So that's another reason we got some goals in that game. So love to see more demo plays, love to see a little bit cleaner rotations, and hopefully we can take these next 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a clean slate for the Buckeyes as we start back into this Game 2. Deshaun with a quick demo, actually, on Frick. What a nice demo, screwing up the rotation. Deshaun trying to set up his teammate, hitting the crossbar. He's going to try to hit it again, and a nice little tap, able to get it. He's just so consistent on those crossbar shots.
The confidence is through the roof for Deshaun, and his teammates know it. They're passing to him directly in the midfield, and he's going to bury that double tap every day of the week. What a beautiful shot. We're up by 1 early again.
Yeah, that was a nice nudge, and I want to see that. I really just want to see, as they take the lead here, then they just clean up those rotations because they get those early shots and they're really able to get a lot with that. But then when it comes into that mid game, they have some issues with being able to keep control of the ball on their side.
Yeah, I wonder if we were going to see a different kind of play style because obviously last game we had a very high scoring game, back and forth, teams constantly scoring. I wonder if Scarlet's recognizing that UC can play that game well too, and they're going to try to lock down on defense. Unfortunately, this isn't the greatest start. That's off the post by Burst. We'll take those every day of the week. Stu gets a demo and some time with space on the ball. Plenty of boost. He's going to go for the corner, pass it in. And Frick's a little awkward here. Deshaun's going to try to make an opportunity of it. It's going to go out to Temp, but he won't be able to collect it in time.
I feel like we were just talking about rotations, and as soon as I say it, it was a completely open net. Stu, though, on an open net himself.
No.
So close, but hitting the sidebar. Unable to do it, and Burst winning the 50-50 on that commitment from Stu. Deshaun, though, might be able to win it and put it over, but Frick with a nice floater, and Temp wants to take the fight to him. That might put the rotations out, and it looks like UC is going to put back on the defense, and an almost, just beautiful shot in the middle by Stu, but Ezio able to defend.
Yeah, one thing that Scarlet's doing really well, they're looking for each other in the midfield. Every single time I've seen someone take it off the wall, they're always looking for that teammate in the middle, and it's gotten us some great goals, specifically when Dasan's in the middle because he's burying that shot every day. But Stu and Temp, they're obviously fantastic as well. They can bury their shots, give it the opportunity. So I'd like to see those passes connect in the midfield, but also it opens up the opportunity for more solo plays off the wall. They're seeing the passes coming at this point. They know that's what we're wanting to do. If we're able to take that time and space that they give us and make a solo play happen, we can see another goal on the board.
Well, Dasan's going to have to try to defend, but Frick with a nice shot able to tap it right in underneath Dasan and tying up the game with 3 minutes left as the Bearcats.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate double commit in the corner, and that leaves the defender just stranded in net. He's not going to be able to make that save. We're tied at 1. But it's a mistake that's able to be fixed. So.
No, absolutely. And, I just want to see them be able to win this kickoff, and it looks like they will. Temp actually able to get it, and that's could have been an open net. Burst had to get there quick and was able to do so, and now it's the Buckeyes that are going to have to try to defend this, but Temp with a nice tap, able to get it, clear it back into midfield, but Frick really wants to take the fight to them, almost able to do so. There were 3 defenders there. At least one of them was able to pick up the pieces as Dasan is able to pass it to Stu and put it back on the Bearcat side.
That one skated really close to the net there, but now OSU seems to be on offense. Dasan's going to play this to the corner. And you got to wonder if UC's running out of boost, but Burst is able to clear that. That was a bit of a tongue twister there. Stu trying to take this out, won't be able to, but it seems like OSU's going to be able to collect this.
Yeah, indeed. A burst, a boost, and Frick able to clear it back. That's a floater going to wear down the clock significantly. All 3 members of the Bearcats are here, but it looks like they want to rotate over to the midfield. Ezio, though, trying to set up his teammate. That's an open goal, and the rotations aren't there. It just scores on an empty goal there.
Yeah, they were looking for the pass out. Stu couldn't find a teammate. He was just a little bit too in front of Temp, and then there's no one left in net, and Bearcats are going to punish that. There's 2 minutes left. Bearcats with a 2-1 lead in this game.
Yeah, I think they really just need to clean up that defense, and other than that, I think they're basically there. I really just want to see a little bit tighter defense. We've seen so many open nets now as Ezio actually demos Dasan. They're going to have to try to defend against that. Frick, winning the 50-50 there. And Temp trying to pass it back over to midfield. Burst wants to commit to it and is able to do so. Dasan, though, is going to get a demo onto friggin' midair. What a great demo. That's going to be able to slow the rotations from the side of UC. But Ezio and Burst kind of run into each other there. A little demolition in the middle.
Yeah, it seems like the Scarlet team is having some trouble getting out of defense here. There's a lot of demos being mixed in, both offensive and defensive demos. But it just seems like they're stuck on their orange half most of the time. If they're able to cross that line, it's just UC's able to find each other. They're able to make solo plays happen where they're at least beating one player. And so we need a little bit more offense if we're going to make a comeback into this game.
Yeah, I think the Ohio State really had a lot more opportunity in the first game. We saw obviously a much higher scoring game as we're down to almost a minute left. Dasan, though, almost able to get it on the crossbar, but is unable to do so. Burst actually demoing Stu in the backfield. That's going to have to set up some rotations, and now with a minute left, Temp and Stu are going to have to try to commit to this ball. He's going to hit it off the sideboard for his teammate, but Dasan is unfortunately not there to hit it, but Temp is hitting it in, and it's an empty goal as they're able to get it and tie it up.
Temp slotted that in the perfect angle. He had no room to work with before the defender was going to get back, and he perfectly places this. He does get a double tap in the end, but a goal is a goal. We're tied at 2, less than a minute left in this game too.
Absolutely, and these have obviously been extremely close game. Both teams know what's at stake here. CRL spot is everything for them. Dasan with a quick demo, 50 seconds left. Obviously, this is Ohio State kind of do or die scenario right now in the losers bracket. So with 44 seconds left, this is all for them to prove.
Yeah, they're still looking for each other in the midfield. A lot of passes just back and forth as UC didn't get a touch on the ball for about 30 seconds there. Or not 30 seconds, 10. Rocket League time is kind of confusing for sure. But I think OSU in a much more comfortable spot now that they know they don't have to score in a regulation, and they're able to play their game more and see if they can actually take a lead here late.
Yeah, we see Dasan, all 3 of them actually here. 20 seconds left. The boost is kind of weak, and they're going to have to maybe try to, put it back. But Temp with a great setup, Stu. Wow, what a shot. So 15 seconds left, and that might be exactly what the doctor ordered.
It's a beautiful infield pass by Stu. He gets the air roll, gets it perfectly out to Temp, and Temp is just sitting there waiting for it. And if he beats those 2 defenders, if he's there in front of the pass before them, he's got the entire net to shoot at. He does. He scores. We're up by 1 with 15 left.
Yeah, 15 seconds left, and at this point, I think Ohio State really just wants to make this ball a floater, try to shave off as much time as they can, and it looks like with 7 seconds left, it's going to be difficult for them to get anything. As Temp actually gets a demo in the sign, this ball is going to go down, and it's going to take us to 3. Ohio State take game 2.
Yep, we needed 2. We've gotten 1. We got one more game left. This is going to be exciting.
I'm having a great time right now.
Oh,
You know, I the last thing that I want to see is just one team having fun. Both teams there were just phenomenal, and you know, it was very close, and I was impressed.
Yep. One of my housemates' most famous sayings is that I hope both teams have fun. And so far, it's looking like a blast. 2 very close games, 2 high-scoring games. I love high-scoring games. There's some people who like defense, but I like seeing the flash of goals that Dasan or really anyone on this field can score. So.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly right. I think that everybody right now is just doing a fantastic job on the side of the Buckeyes. We saw that nice, sharp rotation and a lot less open goals, and I think that equated to a lower-scoring game.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing to remember here, unfortunately, as we are going into this last game is, like, we're having fun. They're having fun. This is their last life.
Right.
Whoever loses this game is just out of CRL. There's no more next weekend. There's no more series. There's no more lower brackets. This is it. So everything is on the line for both of these teams here in this Game 3. Let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dasan and Stu trying to commit to this ball, but it looks like we're going to see a lot of just midfield aggression as Burst is able to clear it over to the side of the Buckeyes. And Dasan almost losing that 50-50. That could have been huge if Burst was able to put it in quick.
Yeah, Dasan was very willing to just wait for Burst to finish his play, just wait and make a challenge at the absolute last moment. And it almost went underneath him because he went for the high option. But that's just going to slip in the net. Frick just has the angle, and no one's ready for the shot. A little bit of confusion on the defense for Ohio State. Bearcats take an early lead this time.
Yeah, I think there was an early demo that really set them up there. I think Temp actually got demoed, which resulted in this kind of sloppy defense and just a nice shot from the Bearcats as we see who's going to have to try to win this 50-50. It really just goes to Temp, and actually a commitment from Burst and almost an empty goal. That could have been a messy situation as the rotations are good for the Bearcats. Stu trying to set up his teammate Dasan actually trying to nudge it in from the back, but is unable to do so as we see it get pulled back to the side of the Buckeyes.
Yep, Dasan looking for Temp over in the corner. They're still looking for each other in space, but Dasan did go for a solo play there, and I'm sure that threw out the defense for a little bit. So love to see the changing in offensive styles from Scarlet, and hopefully they can make a goal come out of it. Obviously, we had 2 pretty high-scoring games so far. I'm sure we're going to see more this game.
Yeah, we saw Stu actually able to get a demo onto Frick. That's probably going to call some rotations, and it looks like Burst is going to be able to do so. But Dasan actually winning a nice 50-50 onto him, and it looked like he wanted to try to nudge it in himself, but is unable to do it as Frick is pulling it back and hitting the crossbar, setting up Burst, but Temp there to defend, and Ezio still wants to keep it on. There's 2 defenders right now for the Buckeyes, but that could have been hairy.
Yeah, it looks like the Buckeyes don't have too much boost right now, unfortunately. They're not able to go for this ball as soon as they'd like. Stu seemed like he got a good boost pad. He's able to air dribble this out, collects the side, and gets a 50 in the midfield. But I'd like to see a little bit more boost control, both on offense and defense. If we're able to steal their boosts, obviously that's going to set up for more extended pressure. But making sure we're securing our own corner boost as well is important for not conceding again, because you don't want to go down by 2.
Right, and we see here Burst is trying to put the pressure onto the Buckeyes. Temp is here to defend with his other teammates. Ezio, nice pass in the backfield, trying to set it up and winning the 50-50 actually. Stu's going to have to try to commit to that to clear it to the side of the UC Bearcats. And now with this floater and really just a lot of midfield aggression right now from both sides.
Yep, Dasan seems to win 2 50s there, and that's going to be able to set up the offense for Scarlet. Just Temp's able to throw it off the corner, but doesn't seem like too much is going to come from this. Except Dasan, they don't have the boost right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dasan can't do that crossbar signature play that we've been seeing on that game 1 and 2. But it looks like Stu still wants to try to keep the fight. Almost able to win that 50-50, and Dasan not able to commit. And now Temp has to try to come and scramble for that defense. Good rotation, though. 2 minutes left into this game, and so far it's been a very different game from both of the teams.
Yep, one thing by Temp there to keep the offensive pressure, he just, instead of going for the ball again, he just goes for the bump, knows the defender's going to be going for it as well, and that keeps a little bit of pressure. Unfortunately, it seems like they're giving it up right now as Stu can't win that demo until very late onto Frick. Temp has a breakaway opportunity, though. It's not quite on target. Burst is going to play it away. We got 2 minutes left in this game, too, and much, much lower scoring right now.
Yeah, I think the rotations are really just significantly better from both sides. They know what's at stake here. They know what they're playing for. And as you see, Bearcats obviously have control right now. They're able to do whatever they want. Whatever they want, they just dribble that ball from midfield and able to get a second goal that's unanswered from the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Frick just, gets the long clear. Burst is able to clean it up, and just no one's ready for that counterattack on Ohio State. The Bearcats take a 2-0 lead, and I think we're seeing a bit of a play style change for the Bearcats. This was the first game where they got an early lead, and so they were able to hang on to that, not let many more goals go in. Obviously, Ohio State had a very different play style of, offense, offense, offense. But it seems like the Bearcats are just content with this back and forth midfield play and not letting any goals happen. And obviously, it just granted them a goal on the counterattack.
Yeah, the other big thing right now with 1:33 left in this match is they're going to have to be worried about these long clears from the side of UC Bearcats. At this point, UC Bearcats really don't need to score anymore in order for them to do it. They just need to have a solid defense, and these long clears and these floaters on the ball are just going to take so much time off of the Buckeyes for them to mount any kind of offense to put them back into this game. We see that final minute about to tick down as Desant is pushing it onto the midfield, able to put it onto the side of the Bearcats, actually able to steal a boost. The boost management is better now, but is it a little too late?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of back and forth. I think Ohio State's trying to set up for plays. They're more willing to take it back in their half and reset. They're also looking for a lot of demos, which is definitely going to be necessary to break up these UC rotations, because right now they're just too clean and we don't have a single goal. Although Enzio might have the double tap here. He's able to bury it crossbar down. 3-goal lead with 44 seconds left for the Bearcats.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, big risk, big reward right now for the Buckeyes. They had to try to make something happen as they were down by 2 and no answered goals right now. And Ezio just able to really take advantage of that and clear a goal that he was able to double tap from the crossbar.
Yeah.
43 seconds left, 3-0 right now. Ohio State really has to score within these first 5 seconds to be in any consideration. But with only 30 seconds left, I'd say UC Bearcats are pretty content with just clearing these far and shooting down the clock.
Yep, I mean, there was a bit of a double commit there from Ohio State. Stu was only able to clear it with 0 boost. So UC's got all the pressure right now. Not sure how much boost the Buckeyes have in their tanks right now. But with 15 seconds left and all the pressure right now for UC, I'm not sure how much they have left.
Yeah, 12 seconds left, and UC actually still wants to try to take this as much as they can. They're actually going to be able to tap it. It was a close shot from Burst, but unable to do so as 3 seconds remain. UC Bearcats will be able to take this 2-1 in the losers round 5, knocking out the Ohio State Scarlet team, which is unfortunate, obviously.
Yep, unfortunate end for the Scarlet team there. It was a good fight against UC, but they couldn't adapt to the change of the play style in Game 3. Bearcats came out strong, and they were able to advance in this bracket. Unfortunately, that is the end for the premier team, Scarlet. And since Gray was knocked out earlier, that is both the OSU premier teams that are out. Fortunately, there are 2 club teams through the OSU BGC that are still alive. The Legumez unfortunately dropped their game and have dropped to the lower bracket in their pool. And the OSU Beanz are facing against Syracuse Orange in the winners final.
That's going to be an amazing game. I hope
really
we can
will.
get ourselves in that. That is obviously just some high-powered collegiate carball happening right now. And obviously, we will try to get as many games as possible for these club teams. They still have our full support here, and I'm excited to cast anything that we can from them. So I think we're going to take a short little break, see what happens, see what we can get. Hopefully we can get another game for you guys shortly. My name is Jeremy. I'm joined today by Matthew, and this has been CRL Week 2. We'll be back after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. There we go. My name is Jeremy, or Jeremy CC. I'm joined with Matthew again in this CRL Qualifier 2 for the Ohio State University. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing pretty good. We had a pretty good matchup earlier against UC Bearcats. The Scarlet team went up against them. Unfortunately, they did fall, but it was a very fun series to cast, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the day.
Absolutely. We still have 2 of the club teams for the Buckeye Gaming Collectives. We have the Beanz, who are actually on to the grand finals now in Pool 2 for their pool, and then also the Legumez with the Buckeye Gaming Collective, who are currently in their loser quarter. I believe they lost to the Indiana Hoosiers, by the looks of it, 3-0 in their winner's semi. So they're back onto the losers quarterfinal, and I'm excited to follow their kind of progression through today.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the Legumez made either top 4 or top 3 last weekend, and they were a very fun team to watch. Obviously, Champy, Bungo, CJ, all fantastic players, and they work really well together as a team. So excited to see what they can bring this week.
Sure, and obviously we've been following the Ohio State University Esports program, Team Scarlet, which unfortunately fell in the last match that we saw, and Gray, which fell a little bit earlier. So obviously that is kind of the end of their CRL run, but don't worry, we still have plenty more Rocket League to come.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting close to the day. Obviously, the Legumez a fantastic team. The Beanz are also they got the bracket reset to work with when they do face the team they eventually face in the finals. So yeah, still plenty to come, plenty of high quality Rocket League, and CRL spots on the line.
Absolutely. I mean, this is obviously everything. And, the Beans have been in this situation before. They have been doing this time and time again, placing so high in these qualifiers. And I'm really hoping that this is their chance.
Yeah, me too. I mean, they came so close last week. They had a 9-game series against RIT. Obviously, that included a bracket reset, but it was really back and forth. Unfortunately, they did fall in that one. That's why they're back here this week. But excited to see if they can bring a different result to the table this week.
No, for sure. And it looks like we actually got news on who the Legumez are going to be playing. It's going to be PNW Black for their loser quarterfinal. And I believe those are still going to be best of 3.
Yes, this is still best of 3. So very important game 1, obviously, as that puts you on match point. Very high stakes in this series. And it's going to be a little bit of a transition as well because they did just come off a best of 5 in the winner's bracket. So it'll be interesting for them to transition back to best of 3 where every game matters just a bit more.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to be able to come in soon with that game. And, obviously, the Beans are going to have to be waiting a little bit for the grand finals to occur because they got to wait for the rest of the bracket to kind of make its way to where they are right now.
Yeah, it's in a bit of an interesting state where you got the losers bracket where teams come up after losing their first match, and then you got the winners bracket. And since going on to win the winners bracket, it's a bit of time before the losers bracket catches up to that final. So obviously they got a bit of time to wait before we'll see them again. But they have to be feeling pretty good despite that because they do have the bracket reset to work with if needed.
How do you think the time difference really plays into them? Do you think they're trying to find maybe a scrim or something like that to play to keep themselves loose? Because obviously whatever team they play, they're going to be kind of going boom, 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 like they're doing it versus, obviously they're going to be waiting here for probably about an hour, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, right now we got the Legumez in the quarterfinals, right? They still have to make the entire, the semifinals and the losers finals happen. And while they're in different pools, it's happening around the same time frame. So still plenty of time for OSU Beanz before they end up playing. But I would expect them to find a scrim, hopefully against someone that they're used to. But I did just hear word that we are going to be getting into this match very shortly, and that will be following the Legumez against PNW Black.
Absolutely, and that's going to be obviously a great game. Like you said, best of 3 now, so they're going to have to try to make their way through this, and as we can see, we go here quick, and Card Omak, who going to have to get used to these names here.
Yep.
And, Bomber Wild, okay. So looks like it's Purdue. That's who it was. I didn't realize. And yeah, it looks like Champy is going up quick here. Him and CJ trying to take this quick and put the fight onto Purdue.
Yep, a lot of early offensive pressure here for the Legumez, and that's going to be exciting to see. All 3 of these players fantastically mechanical. I know last week we were kind of focused on Champion Bungo because at least me and my co-caster had a bit of experience, but CJ is just as mechanical as the other 2, and he comes out to prove it 30 seconds into this first game.
Yeah, he just hits the crossbar there and is able to get a fantastic double tap there. And, just a nice little nudge to get him into that goal and a quick 1-0 right now for the Legumez.
It's a beautiful ceiling read, just right off the ceiling, bounces down to the corner. He's able to pinch it in, gets the first goal on the board. And this is just such an exciting team to watch. I'm very excited to see this series.
Yeah, me too. And obviously they have just been doing some fantastic things. They've gotten so far in the CRL qualifier. And now with this quarterfinal, I think they got everything that they want to win. And as we can see, Champy is able to clear it back. Bomber actually unable to do it, but Cardimac there to get it back on the side. We see a demo come out from Champy, and Bungo is going to try to far clear this and take the fight to Purdue.
Yeah, that defensive demo was actually cleared so much space for the Legumez to break out of offense. You saw there was no one down the line as they broke into offense, and now they're going to look for each other in the midfield. This is something we saw Scarlet do a lot of infield passes. I wonder if these teams have practiced with each other, being from the same school, having a bit of relation there. So a lot of infield passes that we saw from Scarlet. I wonder if Legumez have the same similar strategy.
No, absolutely, and we see obviously a demo coming out from Vlad. That's going to make it a double demo actually from Cardimac too. That's going to have to send them, but Champy actually able to flip it back, and Vlad with a nice tap and able to beautiful aerial to get it in and tie it up for Purdue.
Yeah, the double demo opened up so much space, and while it was on the blue half of the field, obviously that transition, you're not going to spawn with that much boost. It's tough to get up for that, and Vlad, just beautiful shot, has full control of his car and the ball, puts it in, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is still anyone's game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter. It's, losers. So this is kind of the last life that both team have, and both team are playing very well right now. As we go into the midfield, Cardimac and CJ are trying to get the ball. There's actually a double kick commit coming out. Card able to win that 50-50, and Bomber sending it back to the side of the Buckeyes. A little bit of a miscommunication there, I think, is CJ unable to win the 50-50. It's an empty goal, but able to come back as champion Mungo, and it looks like they're going to try to clear this back into the midfield.
Yep. Just a bit of midfield play. Obviously, normally the first game is to feel each other's teams out. Obviously, that's much more difficult to do in a best of 3 when every single game matters because, one win puts you on match point. So less time to feel each other out, and we've had 2 goals already, 1 for each team. So these teams are going to start bringing in their play styles. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit more of that offensive pressure that we've seen from Legumez so far. And obviously, the demos coming out pretty strong, actually from both teams. I've seen a lot of demos, both from Purdue and the Legumez.
Yeah, it looked like CJ is trying to get into an empty goal, but Vlad is there to defend. And unfortunately, not much pressure happening right now as we move into the midfield. Bungo, though, actually winning that 50-50 on that commit. Champy is actually going to demo one of the defenders, too. That was Cardimac in the back, but Vlad able to defend well. Bungo with a nice little tap there, trying to set up his teammate, but is unable to do so. And with no boost, they're going to have to watch out for the attack from Purdue.
Yep, a little bit of team butt there, but it doesn't really matter because CJ is going for this. The backward looked undefended there for a moment, but forces 2 up from Purdue. Now Vlad's going to have a breakaway opportunity shut down by Bungo. And Bungo's going to pass it to the midfield. No one's there for him. Vlad's going to take a shot towards the net and won't amount to much. Doesn't look like the Legumez are going for this. I think the boost situation's probably a little low. They're content with just waiting for Purdue to just throw a shot on net and then collect whatever pieces they can.
Yeah, but we see actually there was Bomber that was too far back, and the rotations are going to be a little sloppy potentially as there's only 2 defenders. Champy looks like he wants to take the 50-50. It's going to hit the crossbar. He might try to be able to get another tap, but it's unable to do so as Cardimac with a nice aerial able to put it back into midfield. But CJ looks like he still wants to take it, and Vlad losing the 50-50. Champy trying to set up CJ, but it looks like we're really just seeing a lot of midfield play right now.
Yeah, I mean, not much goal-scoring action out of the last 2 minutes. We're 1 minute, 15 seconds left in this game. We're still tied at 1. But, I mean, it hasn't been for a lack of offensive pressure. I feel like both teams have had their opportunities. It's just the defenses have been strong on both sides.
Yeah, the rotations that have been coming in have just been absolutely flawless right now. A minute left in such a low-scoring game. We might be able to actually see some more overtime. I mean, obviously, I want to see as much carball as possible here as the Ohio State is trying to put up mounting a attack. The Legumez, though, unable to get anything from it as Bomber's able to clear it back over to midfield.
Bomber's got a good clear, but it's just going to go to Bungo, and he's able to collect most of his boost. A good boost steal there by Cardimac to try to extend some pressure for Purdue. But CJ is just able to work this down. What a fake. Just gets by 1. Gets a 50 under 2. He's just almost 1v3ing out here, and it's going to set up for the OSU offense. Yeah,
I mean, the boost was just absolutely there for Legumez, and overall Bomber has been solid on these clears, but he's going to have to worry about this, the undefended net. Champy coming up, trying to get it, but is unable to do so. CJ is there to collect the ball, but with 13 seconds left and the ball on the side of Purdue, it looks like we might potentially see some overtime here as we move into the end of the game.
That was a really bad double commit. Champy's able to get back for it in time. It looked disastrous for a second. I don't think anyone from Legumez knew what was going on there for a second. Oh, there's a rule 1 over in the corner. That's why we see a 2-on-2 right now. Champy's going to make another save. And I mean, if I'm Legumez, I'm looking to drop this ball. I don't care about the original rule 1 of keep the ball up. just get this into overtime. Actually, we're on the blue half now, so it could be possible. This is a long clear. I think Champy's going to let this one drop. He will, and that will break the rule 1. Both ways, we're going to overtime.
Absolutely, and this has obviously been a very tight and close match. We almost saw that double commit become disastrous as CJ bringing it up to the side of the Purdue. Unable to get anything from it as we move into the midfield. Bungo is trying to tap the ball and put it on the side of Purdue, but with no more boost, Bomber's going to be able to clear that and put it on the Legumez side. Oh, a demo coming out from Cardimac as well.
Yep, a lot of individual play from CJ. He's getting by 1 or 2 players, but it doesn't feel like his teammates are in a good position to follow him up when he does. I mean, there's got to be a trust if you're trusting your teammates to win 1v2s. Obviously, that's a lot of faith that you're going to put into them. And it's a difficult thing to do, especially when it's not a guaranteed 50. So I'd like to see you have 2 teammates work the field, get into positions where you're able to capitalize on these plays by CJ, because he's consistently getting it by 1 teammate and then forcing a 50.
Absolutely, and we see a lot of mid-play here. Both teams trying to get control of the ball. Bungo actually getting a nice demo. They might try to push the issue now as the defenders are left scrambling, and Champy with a shot on the top unable to capitalize on it as Card and Bomber putting it up, but actually Bungo winning the 50-50. They're setting up CJ from the midfield, but it's going to hit the top, and I think we're going to see a clear here. And no, they still want to keep taking it again and again. So many shots coming out from the Legumes right now.
There was so much pressure, but they just couldn't turn around in time. The Legumes concede a counterattack in game 1. Purdue takes the first game.
You know, do you think that was down to just the Legumes being a little too aggressive there and, you know, the rotations just being a little sloppy? Or what do you think went wrong?
They had so much pressure. I mean, they were pounding the net. It looked like Purdue had no boost whatsoever. And then Vlad just gets one breakaway opportunity. And unfortunately, there wasn't enough boost grabbed on the way back by the defender. He was sitting there with 12 with a challenge, and Vlad was just able to beat him cleanly to it. And that's a counterattack that just, you know, really well played by Purdue to get that first game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, obviously, this is a best of 3, so all games matter. And this was an important one to win for Purdue because now they're basically at double match point right now and have a lot less pressure on their shoulders.
Yep. And I mean, Purdue is actually the 13th seed in their pool. Like, this is further than I think they expected to make it. They're playing fantastic for a 13th seed. Obviously, taking this game where the Legumes are the 4th seed. So it's been a pretty big road for Purdue to make it here. And obviously, right now, I think they're probably just playing like every game's like, you know, a win. Just they didn't expect to make it this far. Just have fun with it, keep going. And that's such a strong mentality to have. When you think you shouldn't still be in a tournament and you are, you keep that momentum riding. And that's really tough to come against if you're the Legumes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is the losers bracket, so this is basically last man out, and we're going to have to see the Legumes maybe sharpen up that defense and put a little more offense on the side of Purdue.
Yep. I love the offensive pressure that the Legumes were able to muster up in the beginning of game 1, and I like to see that kind of come back into their play style. Looking for each other in the midfield like they are right now. Champy just fires one off the backboard. CJ's going to fire off the back as well, but Bungo has no boost to deal with this, and he's just going to have to block the clear. I'd like to see that pressure. They need to start focusing on picking up the small pads, or they're not going to be able to keep the pressure up. Champy.
Absolutely just empty net and able to dribble it up from the midfield and able to get that as well. Champy, you know, that was kind of a crucial goal in the very first that they need to get.
Yep. I mean, there wasn't really anyone to style on against net, but Champy's still going to put it in with style. I mean, he's a fantastic player. It looked like a little bit of boost was missing for the Purdue side. But early 1-0 lead here for the Legumes, and let's see if they can keep that pressure up.
Yeah, and they exactly are. CJ and Champy hitting it off the backboard. Bungo, though, unable to actually get it as they double commit to the ball. Cardimac and, Vlad with an almost just a disastrous shot, but they have to try to rotate here. Bomber winning the 50-50. CJ dribbling it back onto midfield, and it looks like we're just going to see maybe some mid play. And no, this is Champy gets baited on that and getting actually a demo on a Bomber. That could have been disastrous if it wasn't for that defensive demo.
Yeah, I think Champy actually managed to get a touch, which just barely threw off the rotation. Unfortunately, he also cuts off Bungo. It looked like Bungo had the shot ready, but Champy was going for the double tap and couldn't quite find the tight angle. So still a 1-0 game. But right now, I think the Legumes are firing on a lot more cylinders than we've seen so far in this series.
Absolutely, but this is an empty net right now. That could have been absolutely disastrous. Bomber, though, looks like he still wants to try to take it. We're seeing a double commit coming up from the side of Purdue. Both teams just fighting for this ball, and now the rotations have to be good, and they are from Purdue as we move back into this mid-game.
Yeah, that was a tragic double commit if you're Purdue, and I really kind of wish that the Legumes were able to capitalize on that because it looked wide open there for a second. I'm not sure how the boost was doing. Obviously, Champy was able to fire it off the back wall, but we didn't see much more from that, and Purdue was able to collect like the free ball that they just give away. So interesting approach by the Legumes. Hopefully they're able to see these double commits when they happen more often and are able to punish. This is a 2-on-1 opportunity for a second, but looks like CJ's just going to fire it to the defender coming back.
Yeah, we saw maybe a little bit of a sloppy rotation. Bungo is here to defend against Vlad and Cardimac, who both want to take the issue. And Palmer coming out from the side, able to hit the crossbar. A close shot as Cardimac's clearing it back to the side of the Legumes, but I think the boost is gone.
Yeah, there was a little bit of confusion there on the defense from the Legumes on who's taking it up the court. I mean, CJ seems to have this opportunity, but he's going to get beat by Bomber. Bomber's actually got a second touch on this. Doesn't get it by the next. Cardimac takes the shot and it's saved by Champy. So a little bit of defense here from the Legumes, which is something we really haven't seen yet this game. But they seem to be holding up pretty strong so far.
Yeah, I'm really impressed right now with the way the Legumes are defending. I was a little worried about rotations and the fact that they had so many just absolutely empty nets that Purdue were able to try to score on. but it looks like we're finally seeing maybe a little bit more defensive play, and it looks like Purdue is very content with trying to take all of this pressure and put it onto Ohio State. But Ohio State's actually getting a nice demo onto Bomber. Bomber getting taken out, and Champy winning the 50-50 as well. This may be a mounting offense as they're setting up Bungo, but Bungo and CJ both look like they want to maybe play a little bit more defensively now.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is the definite change of pace from the Legumez. The Legumez are a team that just simply loves to pound on that pressure, and we saw that a lot earlier in game 1. We saw that early in this game as well, but they seem to have just completely slowed down. They know they have the 1-0 lead. They're not going to take any unnecessary risks. I mean, they have 2 games to win in a row, and right now, technically, if no goals are scored, then they've won. So they're just content to sit on defense, make sure they're getting these saves. But that's a great infield pass. It's still going to be saved, and the extra touch from CJ is crucial in getting that ball cleared before a shot comes through.
Yeah, I think we saw a double commit coming out from Ohio State, which unfortunately put the Legumez in a bit of a unfortunate spot there, but we're able to actually clean it up. 1:13 left on the clock. The Legumez are up 1-0 against Purdue in this game 2 that they need in order to stay into CRL. And I think we're going to see the minute clock here happen. And, just overall some really good, mid-game going on. I think Ohio State, obviously, or the Legumez have, that 1 point that they need, and they don't really need to do much else other than just a solid defense.
Yeah, I mean, despite the 1-0 lead and despite the slowdown of play, they're still feeling confident. I mean, you saw Champy go for that musty flick off the wall. There's no lack of confidence. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how they're playing this game, and they've been able to hold on to this 1-0 lead since the first minute of the game. So they've done a great job adapting their play style to what they think can beat Purdue, and so far, I mean, they've got what they need.
Yeah, Bomber winning that 50-50, able to tap it in, almost able to get a shot onto the goal, but Champy there to defend with a long clear, and Bungo and Champy running it up. It's an empty net. Bungo has an easy shot, and he's able to get it. Just absolutely incredible from the side of the Legumez to probably secure this victory.
Yeah, it was a really heads-up play by Champy there. He realized he probably didn't have the best shot on target, so he just dumps it off for Bungo and immediately turns towards the defenders for the bump. They're able to secure a 2-0 lead. 18 seconds left. Unless chaos breaks loose, they should take this game too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen a lot of things happen in Rocket League, and obviously anything is possible. With 10 seconds left on this goal, I think Ohio State is obviously going to try to get this ball down as fast as they can. I think they're going to break Rule 1 there, and as we move into overtime, they're able to tap it down, and Ohio State fire right back on match 2.
Absolutely. A lot more controlled game there from the Legumez. They realized that, they had a bit of control in game 1, but they slipped up once and it cost them the game.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So, holding on to that 1-0 lead, they were able to control, just eventually make it a 2-0 lead when the opportunity presented itself. But they didn't try to force anything that they didn't need to, and it led to them winning this game.
No, I think that's an excellent point right there. I think overall we saw maybe a little bit more conservative Legumez play. Obviously, we saw some great stuff coming out from that game 1 that was obviously a lot of good, but then we saw those sloppy rotations in game 1, and now game 2 comes around, and we see they just really take the pressure when they want to. When they feel like they need to, they take it. But other than that, they've been playing a very conservative game, and I'm a big fan, personally.
Yep. I think a lot of this game 3, obviously it's match point for both these teams. Loser gets knocked out of the qualifiers for good and no more chances left. So I think it'll be interesting. You got to pay attention to who scores the first goal. Because I feel like if the Legumez score the first goal, they're going to do the same exact thing they did in game 2. No risk, play the ball. They know they can beat one attacker or defender. Just no unnecessary risks, control the game, and just slowly bleed out another 1-0 lead. Which doesn't seem like the play style that they would be known for, but they're pulling it off.
Yeah, I mean, I like it though, personally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of defensive Rocket League, and as much as I love the flashy plays, I also just like a really good default, and I think they were doing a great default there. We saw a lot of quick rotations, no, too committed double commits and stuff like that, and the boost management was just flawless.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously offensive mechanics are fantastic to see. Defensive mechanics, also fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there were a couple of reads that Champy was making in the net, and actually all 3 of them. There was just one I noticed by Champy specifically. But they're able to read these balls where they're coming and able to clear it. And that is just such an underrated skill to have. Everyone's looking for the flip resets, the double taps. That's what you're practicing. Being strong in net is just so underrated, and it won them a game.
Yeah, and we see again, in this kind of very early game, we just see them pretty passive right now, and I think that's fantastic. Palmer, though, coming out from nowhere, able to get a double tap, and oh no, the rotations were just a little sloppy from the Legumez, and Palmer able to just nudge it in for a quick Purdue goal.
That's just such a fast attack. I mean, it was a great clear by the passer, and then Bomber's able to just slot it right underneath the crossbar. So 1-0 lead. We were talking about how the first goal was going to be important. Let's see how the Legumes respond.
Absolutely. Oh, Vlad! Oh, he misses it. And Champy, just from the midfield, is able to get that. Oh, that's disastrous. What a shot from Champy, though.
Well, they have responded. They have responded really well. Let's see how Purdue responds to this, because that is kind of a tilt moment if you're Vlad or anyone on Purdue. That's a tough miss. Obviously, you got yourselves a first goal, so it's not worst case scenario, but that's a tough one.
Yeah, Vlad winning the 50-50 to start out with. We see CJ able to tap it back. Vlad looks like he's in for some revenge, hitting the crossbar as card. Katamak, sorry. Unable to get anything off of that, and we're going to see, CJ winning the 50-50 as well, coming from behind, and, just overall some midfield game. We see, oh no, it's a double demo on Katamak and Vlad. Champy's going to have to try to push this ball back into the midfield as their players respond.
That double demo was so crucial, but it was just at the wrong time. It was right after a shot had been taken. Normally you want to be able to land that double demo sooner so that the shooter can have the rest of the net to work at. Just the timing of that was just a little bit off from Purdue, and it actually just let the offense pressure die. But that being said, Bomber's going to put this off the corner. He finds the read, and no one's ready for it on the Legumes side.
That was just some great reading from Bomber. He was able to tell exactly where he could strike, and I think Bomber was the other one that to look out for this team.
Yeah, no, he's been popping off so far in this game 3, absolutely crucial, bearing both goals so far with pretty fantastic plays. Obviously, he's getting well set up by his team in the first one. This one was all him. Opportunity, Bungo just kind of missed the ball there. I'm not sure if he was going for the fake or what, but a little bit of interesting play, and now the ball's on the Legumes half because of it.
Yeah, I mean, we see Bomber obviously still here wanting to bring the pressure, and obviously he is one of the main driving forces right now for this Purdue offense. Champy able to get a demo, though. Going to have to try to push Vlad back, and losing the 50-50, hitting the crossbar. Bungo and Vlad. Vlad actually hitting it, and it might set up Ohio State, and he is able to. Champy with a beautiful shot set up by Bungo on that 50-50 in midfield, putting it right back into a tied game for the Legumes.
Yeah, another risky challenge by Vlad, and Bungo's able to read him and pinch it down the court, and then while it doesn't go in the net initially, Champy's got the speed to get there and clean it up. That's 2-all. Still 3 minutes left in this game. We got a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, this is looking fantastic right now. We see some very flashy plays, but I want to go back to the defense right now from the Legumes. I want to see the Legumes try to tighten that up, but Bungo is able to just score again. I can't believe this. They are just bringing it on, and it looks like Purdue has nothing to stop them right now.
Oh, that was a bump on the back wall by CJ after he got the pass off of them. Bungo, just a perfect shot into the top right. They already got the defense confused with the bump, one guy going for the ball. There's one person left, and it's tough to defend a top corner shot that good.
Well, we're going to have to see the defensive technical aspects now from the Legumes as 3 minutes are left. The Legumes are up, and there's actually an empty goal. CJ and Bungo are driving it up, but Vlad there to defend, but Bungo might get set up for a shot. Katamak, though, and a demo coming out for Vlad. We're going to have to see where that ball is. Sorry, it looks like it's in midfield again. And now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and the Legumes up, I'm really excited to see the defense.
Yeah, this is the first lead of the Legumes game, or in this game 3. This is the first lead they've been able to secure. So it'll be interesting to see if the play style changes. Obviously, they had to play a little bit of offense in order to get that goal back, but their defense was so strong last game, they have to be aware they're up by 1. And as this clock gets lower and lower, the more and more defense you're going to start to see by the Legumes. They have everything they need to take the series as long as they play their game.
Yeah, and Champy actually winning a very crucial 50-50 there. Vlad tapping it back, and all 3 members of the Legumes here to defend. CJ's going to try to go for that clear. He's actually faking him out, but it's able to do so. CJ might get set up for a nice shot here. Unable to get it, hitting the side a little bit, and looks like we're going to see the ball going back into midfield on the Buckeye side.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate they didn't have much boost there for that shot as CJ was looking for it off the wall. If he had the flip, I think he would have been able to secure the shot, but I mean, nothing too risky, and he knows that. That's a tough backward read to make. Bungo's able to come in for the save, though. That was crucial, and now Purdue looking to set up some infield passes. It doesn't look like the Legumes have all that much boost.
Yeah, the pass game right now from Purdue has just been absolutely excellent. With a minute 27 left, the Buckeyes seem to be holding on their defense. CJ with a nice shot down to midfield. Vlad unable to get it, and that's going to float more time off the clock as the ball is just kind of in limbo.
Yep, a lot of good 50s coming out of defense by the Legumes, and they're looking for each other in the midfield. Obviously, if you send one to challenge and he misses, he's going to be upfield a little bit. The next person is looking for them to extend that play downward and getting the ball out of their half. But they're not doing this at too much of a risk for themselves. They're maybe trying to go for that mid boost, secure that, because obviously their corner boosts are getting stolen a lot by Purdue here. So it's a good defensive rotation set up by Legumez, and it's holding so far. Let's see if it can continue to hold for these last 50 seconds.
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Bungo, and with 44 seconds left, it's an empty goal from the midfield, and he's able to get it. What a read and a hat trick from Champy.
Yep, it's just that breakout potential. We've seen plenty of OSU teams get counterattacked after counterattacked. It's how Purdue won game 1. It was the downfall of Scarlet, and this time the Legumez are able to use that to their advantage. The dunk from Champy after playing a defensive style for several minutes gets them a 2-0 lead in this crucial ace gag.
Absolutely. It's 4-2 right now. The Legumez look to be able to take it. And I think it all comes back to that, defensive play that they do. They get up. They're able to, get positive right now on Purdue, and then they're able to play this fantastic defensive play and read Purdue whenever they're looking a little weak in the midfield.
Yeah, the rotations are so clean. I mean, CJ just got 250, or the offender for Purdue was able to get 250s, and CJ is just the last person to clean up, cleans it up beautifully, and Bungo's already upfield for this counterattack. That's a second counterattack. That basically just secures the series.
Absolutely. 19 seconds left. They're up by 3, and the Legumez are looking very poised right now to take this to the losers semi and their spot for CRL qualifier.
Yep. The last best of 3 match. They dropped the game 1, the crucial game 1, to put you on double match point. But they will be able to take these next 2 games, and they will secure their spot in the loser semifinals. Only best of 5 from here on out. This is where it gets fun.
Best of 5. That means we get to watch even more Rocket League right now in these CRL qualifiers. And obviously, we are still waiting on exactly what's going on with the Beanz Grand Final. But both our teams are still in it for the league teams, and I'm very excited to see what happens in this CRL qualifier.
Absolutely, yeah. The Beanz, fantastic team. I think this secures them top 4 as they're in the loser semifinals, which is just about where they got last time. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to continue this upward momentum. Obviously, that was a great comeback in that series. Love to see them continue. We're not sure who they're going to face next. Unfortunately, I believe that match is still going on. So we should be back soon, but it'll be fun to watch these last 2 teams compete.
Yeah, I'm very excited right now to watch them. And obviously, more CRL qualifier to be had. We now got best of 5s for you coming after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CRL Qualifier Week 2. My name is Jeremy. I'm joined with Matthew still here, and we've got a great Legumez match coming up now.
Yep, we got Legumez versus Brock University. Brock University coming into this as the 2 seed. Legumez is the 4. So a bit of an uphill battle seeding-wise, but it's probably nothing these Legumez can't handle. I've seen them play. They've had a great comeback last series against Purdue, and I'm interested to see how they handle this. We're into best of 5 territory now, so a bit of a longer series, and I think we'll see a little bit of feeling out of each of the teams in this game 1. And so far, I mean, that's a great flip reset attempt by Kinley already. So
yeah, obviously that demo coming out from CJ might be able to bring some aggression for them, but Champy actually gets another demo on the ball carrier. That was Cruncho getting taken out quick, and the ball is going back into midfield as the Legumez, mounts an offense.
Yeah, it's very fun to see as, a shooter's taking his time, dribbling up the field, and then just the defense demos him from behind. It's so satisfying to do and watch. It's one way to stop the offensive pressure. Legumez already trying to do that.
Yeah, we saw that double commit coming out from Echo. It could have been rough as Bungo looks to try to get the 50-50, but is unable to do so. There's CJ there to defend Champy with a great rotation now to get the ball back into the possession of the Legumez. Losing that 50-50, actually, Bungo though able to win it out and, actually tapped the ball. It could have been an empty net for Kinley, but it looked like CJ was there to defend, and we see the ball go back to the side of Brock University.
Yep. I wonder what kind of Legumez we're going to see in this series. Obviously, last series we saw a bit more of a defensive Legumez. I think they knew that they could defend any shot that Purdue put at them. This is a much tougher team as we're going to see. Echo with a beautiful flip reset. I don't even know if he uses it. He just controls the ball, gets it by the last defender. I think he might have used it for a wave dash. Just a great mechanical play by Echo to get it by the defense. Brock University again take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, 3 minutes and 35 seconds left. This is a game of Carvel, so it's still anybody's game, but Brock University is coming out swinging with that offense. And now with an empty goal, actually, that could be just devastating, and it is as Cruncho with a very fast shot. And, you know, Brock University showing us what they've got.
Yep, I think both players went to the other side on the kickoff, and then the touch by Bungo was just a little bit too wayward, and Brock University is going to punch it into the net. That's 2-0 lead pretty quickly there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is still just game one, and we have potentially 4 more games to play. So this could really just be the way that the Legumes can kind of feel out Brock University, take this loss, and try to work better. But still, with 3 minutes left, the Legumes just really need to answer back from these shots that the Brock University have been taking.
Yep, so far it's been a little back and forth aside from the 2 goals. I mean, we've had some quick opportunities. Obviously, one was kind of a kickoff goal there by Brock University. But I haven't seen, you know, anything that's like unbeatable by this team. So all these players on the Legumes, very mechanical in and of themselves. So anything that Echo can bring to the table, as we've seen, I believe all 3 of these players can bring as well. It'll be an interesting series to see as well. But Echo right now just going to keep the offense up for Brock.
Yeah, we saw that just beautiful double tap with that nice aerial, and Bungo is going to be able to win that 50-50. Cruncho was so close to be able to try to get that goal. Echo now here to defend. We see a demo coming out, defensive demo onto Bungo, and Echo with a nice aerial setting up his teammate, actually. Champy now and Bungo have to try to defend. Echo is here. Champy winning a crucial 50-50. Clinley trying to set up Cruncho. Cruncho coming in. He's got the 50-50, and he scores. A beautiful setup by Kinley, and Cruncho just absolutely nailing a beautiful shot into there.
Yeah, it's a great 3-person passing play here by Brock University. They played it from the corner, and then Kinley just drops it right down on Cruncho's hood where no one else is going to get there first. And despite the 2 defenders in net, Legumes aren't able to get up to it in time. 3-0 lead by Brock. It's a tough game 1, but still plenty of time.
Absolutely. One thing we should mention is Brock University was seeded as the 2nd team in this pool, so obviously a formidable formidable player. I believe the Legumes were number 2 in that as well, and Champy is going to have to try to make something happen. Kinley, though, winning that 50-50. Bungo really the only one here to defend. Champy with a good rotation coming back, but now it's an empty net, and Cruncho getting a hat trick and 4 quick succession goals for Brock University.
The team play by Brock University is just insane here. They keep finding each other. It's breaking down the Legumes defense without even bringing bumps or demos really into the equation. They're just finding each other in this space, able to pass it off to each other so cleanly, and the Legumes just don't have an answer yet.
All right, here we go with the kickoff. The Legumes have to start making something work, or else this may just be over as soon as it happened. A demo coming out from Echo, and we see a double commit coming out from the Buckeyes. Champy losing that 50-50 to Cruncho. Cruncho, though, is unable to set up his teammate, and now Kinley is able to really just play a lot more of a defensive game and float this ball to shave off more time from the Buckeyes.
Yep, I mean, just every touch that Brock University is making, it's 2-1 of them, it feels like. They're just so controlled. And I'd like to see Legumes get some of this pressure back for themselves. They need to start finding each other. They had the defensive mind in the last series where they found each other on the way out. Cruncho's going to put another one in, as it just didn't seem like anyone from Legumes was able to get a touch on the ball as this pressure came in from Brock.
Yeah, that's, I believe, his 4th goal right now coming out, and it's just been absolutely brutal right now for the Legumes. I mean, 1 minute and 18 seconds left, and I think we have to write this one off as an unfortunate loss.
Yeah, I mean, it may be Cruncho's 4th goal specifically, but I feel like 2 or 3 of those have been 3-person passing plays by Brock. They're just so in tune with each other, and it's throwing off the Legumes. They don't seem to have any answer for it so far. And they got 1 minute. I mean, this game might be chalked, but you got a minute. Try to figure them out. Figure out a game plan for the next game. Because, I mean, it doesn't matter what the scoreline is. A 1-0 series lead is a 1-0 series lead. You can win the next game 1-0 and just tie it up just like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the Legumes can adjust to this play style.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen, like you were saying, much from the offense from the Legumes. Obviously, Brock University has just been absolutely... Bungo with a nice shot. Or, sorry, I believe that's CJ, but Bungo with the assist. But we haven't really seen much from the Legumes yet in terms of their offensive play. That, I think, is the first breath of life that we've seen from them, but nothing else besides that.
Yeah, it's an interesting note. That did come off a counterattack. I mean, they were able to find Bungo in the midfield. Bungo just doesn't even worry about shooting it exactly because he sees that Cruncho is a net. But he just gets it onto the half and then forces Cruncho up for an awkward touch. And they were able to make something of it. So I wonder if, Legumes is going to realize that maybe, obviously sitting on defense is probably not going to work. But this counterattack heavy play style might be the key to success.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen with Brock, dreamwork, kind of teamwork makes the dream work. For that, CJ with another nice shot, tapping it in, able to just absolutely circumvent it. He actually sets himself up with a nice little shot. And, like I was saying before, though, maybe this is kind of the beginning for the Legumez. Is Brock University actually has been unable to answer either of those goals.
20 seconds left. Well, now 15. It was interesting. I mean, it was down by 5-0. You don't normally expect 2 goals in what would be normally considered garbage time in one of those games. But they got 2 goals. I mean, it looked like it was possible for a moment. Seems like we're just going to play out the rest of this game 1. It's going to go to Brock University. But a little breath of life there from Legumez at the end. I wonder what they'll be able to take that momentum into this next game.
Right, I mean, CJ actually very close to be able to get a goal there, but is unable to do so. Brock University obviously taking this first game and putting them in a decisive lead.
Yeah, I think the Legumez were able to play really well towards the end there. I mean, obviously they got annihilated early by Brock, but that's to be expected. Brock's, statistically, I guess, a better team. So Legumez coming into this the underdog. But they're able to start taking shots towards the end, and I wonder if that'll be able to translate. Brock University had, a pretty solid game. From them, they were finding each other. I wonder if they're slowing down on that momentum as they come into this next game. So it'll be interesting to see what the Legumez respond to in this game too. Obviously, 1-0 series lead. Still plenty of time.
Absolutely. I mean, this is their best of 5 again. And, the Legumez, even though they were unable to really get a good start on that footing, did start to show breaths of life, like you were saying. And I'm wondering if maybe trying to take the teamwork out of, Brock University, if they're going to be able to find some more success, maybe get those 1v1s and win some more of those 50-50s.
Yeah, one thing, we saw the Legumez do in the last series. It was just so many crucial 50-50s, getting by 1 or 2 defenders. That's going to be tougher to do with players like this, especially with Cruncher just immediately firing one towards the net, and he doesn't care what the rotation is from the Legumez. He's just throwing it at the net, and eventually it breaks down. Unfortunately, it was only 11 seconds into this game. Yeah,
I mean, Cruncher, 4 goals in the last game has just been absolutely dominant. But like you were saying before as well, it is, kind of a teamwork game for Brock University. There's no, even though Cruncher obviously had all those goals, associated with him, it felt like Brock University, all 3 players were tapping it in order to get. Now we have an empty net and an opportunity, but Bungo is able to defend. Cruncher wants to try to take the fight to him. Kinley, as well. And it looks like, actually CJ winning that 50-50, but Cruncho stealing the ball away, and Bungo there to defend. But another shot off the rim, almost getting it. Bungo has to try to tap this away. Cruncho might be in a prime position to try to set him up, but CJ winning that 50-50 and putting the goal score back into. Oh no! They demoed the defender. Echo is able to get it. Oh, the amount of just pressure being put right now onto the Legumez is incredible.
Dude, it felt like I was watching Echo's car go up for that, and you could see the pressure relieve once he saw that demo come in from Kinley. Because if that demo doesn't come through, he's shooting onto a defender. Kinley took out the last chance for Legumez to save that ball, and you could just tell Echo just immediately was like, all right, I just got to put this on target, and it goes in. He does that. It's a 2-0 lead for Brock University just a minute into this game, too.
Yeah, currently 2-0 right now. 4 minutes left. It's still anybody's game, but Brock University is looking like the dominant driving force right now as we see the Buckeyes have to try to make something come of this. Champy able to get a demo in the back onto Cruncher. That's going to be one of the main offense taken away. And here we go into this midfield. Champy actually getting another demo. Saved by Echo, though. They might be able to set up Champy here with another shot. No, Kinley able to get that 50-50, bringing it back into the midfield. Bungo now has to try to defend. There's 2 players, and actually getting a demo onto Echo as well. Cruncher with a nice shot, almost able to get it in. 2 defenders, though, and Kinley is trying to bring the pressure onto the Legumez.
Yeah, I think there was one brief moment where the Brock University rotation kind of slipped up, and the Legumez were almost able to take advantage of it, but they recovered so quickly, and despite the Legumez counterattack, Brock University was able to put a counterattack towards the net of their own. And while no goals were scored, it just shows that Brock University is so easily able to recover. The shot from CJ saved by Cruncho, and it's immediately cleared downfield. That looks like an opportunity, though. Unfortunately, it will be cut out by Kinley. They're so clean on defense. They're clearing it long, and despite the demo from Champy here, this is an opportunity for Brock University.
Yeah, Cruncho winning that 50-50, but Champy there to get the ball. Unfortunately, there were none of his teammates there, and Bungo and Champy look like they want to take this. That's the defender getting taken out, but Kinley with a nice clear. CJ's going to try to give it back to them, but is unable to do so as the ball goes into Echo and Kinley. CJ, though, still tapping it. They still want to try to take this fight to Brock University, but they've got to be worried about the rotations themselves as Kinley is dribbling the ball up, trying to set up his teammate, but CJ with a nice defense, and the ball goes back into midfield on Brock University's side.
I think the good news is the Legumez are starting to figure them out. They're getting these offensive opportunities. They're getting it towards the back wall. They're just missing the final piece. They can't seem to get that last shot on target that's going to test the defense, and this is a terrible spot to be in. If Cruncho had any boost, he was probably turning that around. Instead, he goes for the astral pinch. Bit of an interesting choice, but I mean, if you're up 2-0, you've got a little bit of leeway. Now CJ's going to look for the counterattack himself. He won't quite get it in the net. Echo's going to find it. But I mean, Legumez are finding each other in this space. They're looking towards the back wall. And I mean, if they get one missed touch by Brock University on the back wall, then all of a sudden it creates a lot more space. So a bit of an adjustment from Legumez. They're playing a lot better. They've adjusted to this, higher end team, and we'll see what they can come up with.
Yeah, a minute 30 left into this match, and it's going to be just a completely open goal. Slow rotations coming in as CJ finally able to breathe some life back into the Legumez, and with a minute 30 left, it's still anyone's game.
There's so many options that you can take coming from the ceiling. You got the flip reset, you got the double tap, but CJ just knows there's so many options you can take on the ground. He fakes low, he goes high, he just goes around the entire defense, scores the first goal for Legumez in this game. It's a one-goal game now.
Kinley winning the kickoff, but Champs is able to win actually the 50-50s. Cruncho left with no boost, and Champy is trying to steal the boost away from them, but it's an empty goal. Champy has to try to defend this. They're hitting the backboard. Echo with another shot, but CJ glad he was there to tap the ball away, and now a double commit coming out from the Legumez. It looks like Champy wants to try to take this. He loses the 50-50, but they're still passing to each other. Champy, a little of a miscommunication there as the ball goes back into the Legumez side.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of chaos on both sides as both teams actually had double commits there in that mix, but I think things have started to stabilize. Legumez have a little less than a minute to sort this one out. This does not look stable, however. Cruncho can't find that angle into the net. But I think Legumez, they need to break out of this half, and they need to start setting each other up, stop the double commits, just calm down, get back into the game. That demo will not help. Champy has an exterminator. I was not thinking he was getting that many demos, but my goodness, dude. He's going for the rotations. Maybe that's what's stopping Brock. I mean, those small demos in the rotation, that's what's going to stop. He just got the 8th, didn't he? But it might not matter. Echo might have this read. He doesn't. Oh, there's still a chance for Legumez. Just 15 seconds left. Let's see what they can muster up here.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. The Legumez are bringing it up, and actually that was a nice dribble, almost able to get it, but Cruncho there to defend the Buckeyes. In order to stay in this, they have to get it, and Champy scores, tying it up in 5 seconds left.
There was so much pressure. Champy's been getting demos. There was a double commit for that, and it just went off the crossbar. Bungo wasn't able to put it in himself, but Champy's able to work his way around before any of the defense recovers. 5 seconds left. We're tied at 2. This could be overtime.
I kind of see the offense from Brock University getting a little slow, getting a little stale potentially. For the longest time we were seeing Brock University had just a lot of team play. And oh no, this net could be everything. Oh, I think Ohio State really needs to try to get it, but no, Kinley scores the last time. Oh no, that's just disastrous from the Legumez.
It was a double commit, and it looked like it could have been over, but I don't think anyone on Legumez recovered from boost after the kickoff, and that's a beautiful shot by Kinley to secure the game for Brock University. Legumez looked like they were coming back in that game, but Broccoli's able to just secure it at the very last second. They take a 2-0 lead in this series.
I mean, we finally saw the life that we were talking about coming out from the Legumez. We finally saw them able to deal with the offense from Brock University and mount their own offense by the very end of that.
Yep. I mean, Legumez pretty solidly getting 2 goals in each of these games. They're finding their own offensive opportunities, and that's something that I'd like to see happen with the game. I'd like to see that a little bit earlier. I mean, we gave up the first 2 goals to Brock University, and we weren't able to recover it until then. So it'd be nice to see Legumez get the start that they need, not give up those 2 goals, and be able to carry that and eventually, score their own goals, which they're doing just fine. It's just they got to stop that offense.
Yeah, I think the offense was a little bit too late potentially from the Legumez, and I just want to see that at the very beginning. I want to see them get a nice pace there and not let Brock University kind of just run away with this so early in the game.
Yep. 2-0 lead here for Brock University. It's going to be an uphill battle. It's not impossible. You got to take it one game at a time. And so far, the momentum's trending in their direction. I'm not sure they have it, but they're getting better with each game. Hopefully they can keep to improve. Legumez need this game 3 if they're going to stay alive.
Yeah, and it looks like we're finally seeing what we wanted to see. We saw the Legumez mounting a nice offense, but the defense was good as well from Brock University. The ball is now on the Legumez side, but it's slowly moving towards midfield. CJ there to collect it. The boost is good for Cruncho, and it looks like Bungo is gonna have to try to take this. He loses the 50-50 to Echo. There's almost a double commit from the Buckeyes, and now we're just seeing a lot of mid-fighting right now.
Yeah, not too much pressure from either team so far, but I think that benefits Legumez. If you're not letting Brock University score early, then that's taking away what's been so strong for them in this series. So a little bit of midfield play is exactly what I think the Legumez want right now.
Yeah, we see Cruncho winning that 50-50 tapping it back onto the side of the Legumez, and no, CJ is gonna have to try to float that one back over. It's a nice clear, but Echo is low on boost, and it looks like we're gonna see CJ clearing it back.
Yeah, important boost steal from Echo there to just make sure that, you know, Legumez don't have too much coming onto this offensive opportunity. You can see there was no real threatening opportunity there. Just, I think the Legumez are content. They're going to break out the offense here soon, but this is their defensive play style. What a demo by Echo, and that'll secure the open net for Kinley. It's just they're leaving one back, and it keeps coming back to haunt them.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the issue with CJ being so far back with limited rotation. CJ, you see, trying to get it there, but that demo on from Echo just set Brock University up for a clear goal and a decisive 1-0 in this game 3.
Yep. Well, the bleeding has started, but it is not as fast as it has been in the last 2 games. So still plenty of life left in the Legumez. They just got to start playing their offensive game. They'll start looking for each other. That's a good 50 from Champy to possibly set something up, but Echo's got a lot of boost to deal with this.
Yeah, 3 minutes left into this game, and you know, it's obviously been very back and forth with this mid play. Crunch able to actually steal some of the boost, and he's trying to tap it in. Bungo and CJ there, though, double committing, and the rotations are going to have to try to be good from Brock, as the Legumez actually able to get a demo as well, but Cruncho with a nice clear is going to be able to bring it back. And oh man, there was a world where CJ could have set up maybe Bungo, but unfortunately there were no Legumez there to take the shot.
That was a risky touch there by the last member live on Brock University. Champy going for the demos again, but that probably leaves him overcommitted, as Echo's going to punch this in off the pass from Cruncho. That's 2-0 for Brock University.
Yeah, well, I think we saw that double commit coming out from the Legumez, which unfortunately resulted in a completely empty net. CJ and Bungo trying to scramble to get some kind of defense, but is unable to do so. And you know, with 2 minutes left, this is do or die right now for the Legumez. This is the losers semis, so, and obviously a best of 5. So you know, in order for the Legumez to stay in this, they need to win this game.
Yeah, this is absolutely crucial. They need to win the next 3, actually, which is such a tall order, but you can't think about that right now if you're the Legumez. Just focus. 2-goal lead right now. Get 1 back. Just get 1 back. You got 2 minutes. That's still plenty of time. No need to start panicking. Just play your game. Eventually 1 goal should come. But right now, it doesn't look like they're very calm on defense. I'm not sure anyone's in this net. Oh, what a race back from CJ.
Yeah, Kinley had a chance there. It looked like he wanted to try to get that tap in and give Brock University an even bigger offensive strike. But CJ actually in an empty goal. Kinley there to defend, but that could have just been absolutely devastating as we move back into the midfield here. 1:45 left. Brock University up right now 2-0 in both the score and the match.
Yeah, this could be an opportunity, though. I'm not sure how much boost the Brock University side has. I think we saw Bungo steal one of their boosts. That's a good 50 to force it onto Bungo's hood. He's going to have an opportunity in this corner, but just the 50s are so strong. When they're low on boost, they know they got to force the 50 out over on the side of Brock University, and they've been doing that so well. Plenty of time wasted on the clock this way, too. You're not thinking about it too much if you're the Legumez, but if you're Brock University, every 50 that wastes time, just a few more seconds closer to victory.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing with 1:10 left here, Brock University can really just play a very tight defense and not commit too much to the side of the Legumez, and they are, you know, kind of just in it to win it. With a minute left here, it looks like the Legumez are going to have to try to mount something. Champy, with not a lot of boost, is going to actually be able to steal a pretty crucial boost and get a demo onto one of the defenders. This may be what the Legumez need to get back into this game, but with 44 seconds, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, Champ is going to be able to collect this ball. It was a weird air dribble back into the defense by Echo. I think it was because of the demo. Here's an opportunity, though. It's a double commit, and they can't find the net. Oh, it could have been golden, but the opportunity goes to waste 30 seconds, then they do 2. That will pinch right off the crossbar. CJ can't find it, and now the Brock University will start the counterattack. They have to find something now.
Yeah, 19 seconds left. Bungo has been really good with these shots, but is unable to do so. The boost management, I think, has been a lot better from the Lagoons this time. A lot of steals right now of boost as we see 7 seconds left, and as the ball gets closer and closer to the... Oh, no!
Oh.
2 seconds left. We got a game here, folks.
It's not impossible. It's bloody difficult, but it's not impossible. Champy with a great pass, and I think Brock University just caught a little bit slack and thought they probably had it in the bag. But, I mean, if there's 0 seconds on the clock, that ball, as long as it stays up, is still in play. So I'm looking to see a good kickoff here from the Legumes. I'm not sure they'll find it. They won't get to it in time. Brock University sweep the Legumes. They move on to the losers finals.
Yeah, obviously, we saw there a decisive 3-0 for the side of Brock University, knocking out the Buckeye Gaming Collective, Team Lagoons. That's the secondary, the B team for them. So don't worry, we still have the A team for the Buckeye Gaming Collective, the Beanz, a close relative of the Lagoons, that are going to be able to play, and they're up to the grand finals. So, you know, obviously, it's now down to just one more best of 5 for them to determine if they get that CRL qualifier spot.
Yeah, the Beans obviously in a good spot to secure their chance for a CRL. But I think, you know, shout out to Legumes. They had a fantastic run, unfortunately dropping 2 series, but they got top 4 again, and they lost to the 1 seed and the 2 seed. So really not a bad performance by them, especially for, you know, I guess the B team, technically,
Right.
from the club team. But they put up one great performance, and, you know, they can be proud of what they did these past 2 weekends.
Absolutely. And obviously, congratulations to Team Scarlet and Team Gray from the official Ohio State University Esports program.
Yep.
They put up a great fight themselves in their pools. But now it is just left to one, and that would be the Beans, who are trying to fight for that pool 2 spot. We're hopefully going to be able to get that match streamed as fast as we can, but obviously they won so quickly that we now have to wait for the rest of the bracket to catch up. So, you know, my name is Jeremy. I'm joined today with Matthew, and you know, this has been CRL Qualifier 2, and we'll be right back after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And today we have for you the finals for CRL Qualifiers Week 2. And we are left today with the final team, and that is the Beans. We have finally found their opponent after long waiting, and that would be Syracuse Orange.
Yep, I'm very excited to see this matchup. The OSU Beans obviously made the finals to the winners again, as they did last week, but unfortunately last week they fell to the Rochester Institute of Technology. This week they have another chance of redemption. If they win either one of these next 2 series, they just have to win one. So if they win the first one, they're in. But they have the bracket reset to work with. If they win one of those series, they're in to CRL League play. I'm looking forward to see this match. How about you?
Absolutely. We were actually watching Syracuse a little bit. They had their own stream, and we were able to watch a little bit what they were doing. I believe they won 3-0.
They did, yes.
Against Northeastern, which was a just absolute, you know, fantastic victory. But we played against Syracuse actually already in this bracket. We were able to defeat them as well, 3-0, especially a 4-0 victory on that map 1 that we saw from the Beans.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Beans, I mean, I don't think they have to do much adapting because this, while there was a long break, this was the last team they played. They played Syracuse Orange in the winners finals, beat them 3-0 in the series. So it'll be interesting. I'm assuming we're going to see the same strategy from them, although we don't know what that is because we didn't see them on this stream. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach this series. And, I mean, they already took them once. Let's see if they can do it again.
Yep, well, we're going to get right into it. The Beans are starting it off. Lasome with a nice kickoff there. Masseter, Mason Star is it. Looks like Mason's computer crashed. So we're going to be going back to the desk. So, yeah, you know, obviously we've seen, you know, these 2 teams already today in the brackets, but not on the stream. So maybe a little bit of kind of revenge from Syracuse that we might be able to see here.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be out for it. They've had a lot of matches leading up to this. Actually, no, they haven't. They've had the one because they only just beat the last team that they faced.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I'm blanking on who that is, but they faced them in the lower final. Northeastern, yes, thank you.
Yep.
They beat them 3-0, but like before that, their last match was OSU as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Obviously, we're just waiting for Mason to get his computer fixed. But
well, this is basically, for all intents and purposes, a best of 10.
It really is.
Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, we had that full experience last week
Right.
with the 9 games against Rochester. But if we take the first 3, just take 3 before they can take 3, and then we're out of here. So I'm sure these guys are looking to qualify as quickly as possible, and I'm sure if they start to feel like the bracket reset is coming, I'm not sure they want those nerves back, because last week it was a tough rebound after that Game 5 overtime loss.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, and like you were talking about before, the bracket reset really just messed them up in my opinion. I think that they were in a good mental mindset, and then that bracket reset happened, and it just obviously threw everything off for a loop. And this team, the Beanz, they were unable to qualify. Obviously last week in the first qualifier, but then even before that, the fall qualifier, they were unable to do that as well. I think going down to the finals as well. So I think a lot to prove for the Beanz, and I think they're bringing their A game today.
Yep, and I think I'm going to highlight one player in specific. Lissum is new to this roster. He played the last qualifier with them, but I believe in the fall it was Sleppy who had tried to qualify with them, and they ended up missing out. Now Lissum is on the roster with Shiro and Masseter. And last week they were looking really solid. They obviously made it through the winners finals. They're definitely like favorites to make it into CRL. It's just, can they close it out in that final match?
Right, and that's the big issue right now is, are they going to be able to close it out? Because, like I said before, they've been put into this final position now, I believe it's 4 times now.
Yeah.
So, obviously you got to imagine there's some pressure happening, because so far they've just been absolutely steamrolling every other team that they got. And here we go, we finally see Syracuse Orange is able to get their player. This is Patrick, you heard that correctly, is dribbling up the ball, trying to go for a shot, but Shiro able to defend. Mason Star 1 on the enemy team is able to get it, and the ball goes back into midfield.
Yep, I appreciate the fact that we have the full name for Michael Lissum Pratt here on the field. And Masseter is back in his original watermelon car, something that we didn't end up seeing last week, but it's good to see him back. Now here's an opportunity for the Beams. Is Lissum going for the ground pitch? He almost finds it. No, this is Patrick with the save, though.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that offensive demo coming out from the side of the Beans, and unfortunately unable to capitalize on this, as this is Patrick is able to just absolutely take the ball downfield. Shiro there to defend, as we see, winning that 50-50 against Gavion. No, this is Patrick not able to get ahead of the ball, and the ball is going to have to just go down into midfield.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here for the Beans, honestly. I'm seeing, obviously we've had a bit of back and forth, but whenever we're on the blue half, it seems like that the Beans have a lot more pressure than I've seen the Syracuse Orange have on the orange half.
Yeah,
so.
Gavilan just stealing the ball away from the Beans, and Shiro, though, taking that shot from the back, winning the 50-50 actually against Mason. They're going to have to try to get some quick rotations. As Lasome actually getting demoed. Unfortunate there, and, really just, could have been a crushing blow to Syracuse.
Yeah, Lasome just took it a little bit too slowly, and the people rotating back were able to catch up and demo him before he had the 1v1 opportunity. Obviously, he was setting up for some kind of flick over the defender, but just couldn't quite set it up in time. And now Syracuse looking to have some pressure. Not going to have much. Masseter should be able to clear this out. He's got Lasome in the midfield. Lasome's going to fire a shot towards net. It'll be saved pretty easily. But still, just a bit of back and forth 2 minutes into this game. Not too much pressure from either side, although I do feel like the Beans have had this slight advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of good setups happening right now. This is Patrick especially has been very good at getting the ball as close as we can. And, as we can see, they are just putting actually a lot of pressure, hitting the backboard. Patrick, though, able to defend, losing the 50-50 against Masseter, and Masseter trying to set up the rest of his teammate, but they're going to have to try to rotate for this defense.
Yep, this is an opportunity here for Syracuse, I do believe. That's a miss on the back wall. Masseter's forced to make that save. He won't be able to do it. Gavilan gets the first goal in the series.
Yeah, we saw that kind of scrambling for the commitment. Masseter and Shiro were both trying to get into position, but Lasome committed a little bit too far to that, and the Gavilan was able to just shoot in an empty net.
Yeah, it looked like Shiro probably realized he didn't quite have the touch, called Lasome onto it, and then just neither of them ended up having the touch. It left Masseter kind of screwed in net, and he can't come up with a save. Still just a 1-0 lead early in game 1. We do have a best-of-5 series on our hands, but I mean, still plenty of time left in this
Absolutely.
game.
And as the ball goes over to the midfield, Gavilan is able to win that 50-50. Lasome be able to take it away from this is Patrick, and Mason Star as well, trying to dribble the ball into midfield. Shiro stealing it back with not a lot of boost on Mason. It's going to be crucial to try to get this ball. This is Patrick with a great save right now. Masseter, though, shooting it back. This is Patrick defending. This has been just absolutely relentless. It's home with another shot, finally able to sink it in against this is Patrick.
There was so much pressure there by the Beans. They just kept firing ones off the backboard towards the net and eventually Lassome's able to get one into the net, and we're tied at 1 with 2 minutes left.
Absolutely. And now with this kickoff, it's going to be interesting who wins the 50-50. It looks like it's going to be Shiro with a nice shot and actually a demo fast on. No, this is Patrick. Lassome trying to take as much pressure as they can, setting up Masseter. Ball goes a little too high for him to take it. And no, this is Patrick actually getting demo. Oh no, what an absolute maniac.
Yeah, Master's going to be able to take this up the field, and it's interesting off the kickoff, like a little bit of, strategy that comes into play. Obviously, it didn't amount to much, but I do think because of the demo on the last player, like the Beans are able to get the first pressure of this possession. I don't think they've really given it up. So obviously a midfield cut there by Mason Star towards the net, well defended. And then I think we're going to also start seeing some demos coming out from Syracuse, as I don't feel like they've had that much control over this series. They did get the first goal, but it kind of felt out of nowhere, and the Beans have had most of the pressure so far. So I wonder if we're going to start to see Syracuse panic a bit more, and if they're able to stay calm, and the Beans are continuing to stay calm, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we see a minute left here, and there's just been a lot of good mid-game right now. Patrick trying to set up his teammate, but with that single commit, unable to get anything from it. Mason Star over here tried to juggle the ball. Nice aerials, able to put it back onto midfield, but losing that 50-50 to Shiro and Gavilan as well. This might just become an empty net, but no, Patrick able to take it back. Masseter trying to follow that ball, but they might have to worry about Patrick and Gavilan, who are setting themselves up. 40 seconds left in this half, and now, oh, that's an empty net. This could be just everything, but no. Right off the top, and Lassome now getting carried, and Patrick putting it back into midfield.
Yeah, it was a crucial touch on the back court by Masseter. He's able to play it. Now Shiro's back passing. That looked like it could have been on target for a moment. Obviously, these guys have it under control, but Gavilan's going to take one towards that. We got 15 seconds left. We might be poised for overtime unless we see some last-second heroics from either team.
Yeah, this is definitely a different tempo change that we saw. Obviously, the Beans had, won pretty convincingly at 4-0 in their first game, and now it looks like we're going to actually probably get some overtime unless, they have something to say about this. Shiro actually able to keep the ball up, but I think they should probably try to put it down, even though that's, not conducive. It's currently going back onto the Beans side, and I think here we'll see it go down and go into overtime.
Yeah, Shiro obviously wanted to keep that play alive, but I guess he didn't realize that he had no one waiting for him in the midfield, and it looked dangerous for a second, as it was a perfect setup for Syracuse Orange to make the counterattack. Thankfully, the defense for the Beans was able to get by in time, but right now, all the pressure on for Syracuse in this overtime, and Mason Star is going to put in the first goal very quickly off the kickoff. Patrick's able to dribble it by the defense, and Syracuse takes game one.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate right there. The rotations were not in, and I think Shiro just lost that 50-50 on Gavilan, and it looks like we're going to see, obviously, a game one for Syracuse, and a different tempo change that we've seen.
Yeah, definitely not exactly what we expected. I think the Beans were able to control most of the game, but they lost in overtime, and this is something that plagued them again last week. The 3 losses in the first series against RIT, all overtime losses, and I think it was a reverse sweep attempt in that first series as well. They dropped the first 2 games in overtime. You don't want to see that start to happen again, because the minute that memory starts to come in, it's just you gotta force it out. It's a brand new series, brand new game for that matter. Just go out there, play your game. You're winning the possession battle. You're winning the pressure battle. Keep that up, and you will start to take games.
No, absolutely, and I think you're right. I think, obviously the Beans had it there. They had that drive, and I really think they were playing really tight, but then those rotations would come around, and sometimes it would just be a little sloppy, and with those double commits, it would be just, an empty net for Syracuse to take advantage of, and obviously it was a close game. So both teams really showing us they're all in this finals, and obviously we have at least 2 more games to see.
Yeah, and that being said, I mean, I don't think we've seen completely what the Beans could do yet. There was a lot of pressure, obviously, but I didn't see as many solo plays as I would have expected from this team, and I know they're capable of it. So I think as the series goes on, the Beans have had like an hour-long break or something ridiculous like that. Syracuse is just coming off their last series. So obviously Syracuse is going to be more warmed up, and I think once we see the Beans start to get their wheels under them again, we're going to have a fantastic series.
Absolutely. Gavilan with a fast demo trying to take down the Beans defense. Mason Star trying to set up his team, but no one there to defend. Oh no, Lassome has to take that shot, and he's able to do so. And this has just been, kind of a very fast offense right now from Syracuse.
Yeah, a lot more pressure from Syracuse early in this game than I would have expected. Master's going to be forced to make that save. He's up to it. But they've been peppering the net, and so far I haven't seen much of an answer from OSU Beans, and Patrick's going to put in the first one of game 2.
Yeah, this was, one of the most kind of sad shots. We saw that he was able to just tap it in an empty goal, and unfortunately there was no one there to defend that.
Yeah, I just don't think the Beans had much control over their boost. It seemed like they were running low, weren't able to get to the touches they needed to be at, and that's how they concede the first goal. A lot of extended pressure will do that to you. And obviously, I mean, they had 40 seconds, just about.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of boost steals that were actually going on. Syracuse was really good at just stealing the Beans' push. But, oh, no, look at this. He's not going to be able to get it. And Shiro, from just the other side of the field, is able to score one and bring it into a tied game for the Beans.
And, hey, it's nothing fancy, but it's in the net. That's sometimes all you need, just a little bit more momentum on your side. They obviously got one goal in game one, but getting one in this game two, tying it up with still plenty of time left, it's basically, you know, treat it like it's 0-0. It's a whole ball game. It's just 1 minute shorter.
Absolutely. And now we see a nice shot coming up from Shiro. He's just been so tactical with that. And Mason Star getting the ball stolen away by Masseter. Lasome trying to set up his teammate, but no. This is Patrick able to get it back, and Masseter putting it back onto midfield, winning that 50-50. Mason Star now hitting the crossbar, but Shiro putting it back into midfield.
Yeah, here's a shot opportunity from Gavilan. It'll be saved. But I feel like Syracuse could be finding each other more in the midfield. It doesn't look like they're going for the passes. They're just kind of going for their solo plays, going for individual stuff, just peppering shots on net. And I think, you know, the Beans need to take advantage of that. If there's no threat of the infield pass, that's one less option you have to defend. Obviously, you have to be somewhat aware of it, but, like, don't waste your resources on it every single time. Know that they're going to go for the solo play, readjust, and, you know, start the counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, we see this double commit coming out from the side of the Beans. Unable to really capitalize from that. A lot of pressure being had, but overall, you know, no shots to the goal yet as the Beans are poised to, actually it looks like they still want to fight this. I thought they were going to try to go for some rotations, but Lasome and Masseter are both here. They have good boosts, actually. They could make something out of this, but as it hits the crossbar, it's going to be hard for them to try to get a shot. And as we move into the mid-round here, I think the Beans have to try to take this away.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good quarter play from the Beans here. They've been able to steal the orange boost, and it's allowing this offensive pressure to continue. Obviously, that clear from Patrick's going to be caught by Shiro, and Shiro's going to get by two now. Goes for the boost steal, but misses it, and now it's just going to be left for Gavilan to collect. Master's going to demo him right after he got that boost, though, so this could lead to another opportunity.
Yeah, we saw, obviously, Shiro with a nice shot, but hitting the top. Masseter was looking to be set up, but it's going to get just shot away by Mason 1. Patrick with another nice clear. 2 minutes left in this game, and it's a tied score.
Yeah, one thing that's been interesting to watch is it feels like the Beans aren't exactly respecting all of Syracuse's possible touches, and Syracuse is able to get those defensive touches that have been clearing the ball. I mean, there was one Lasome earlier. He was with zero boost, just kind of waiting in front of net for the back wall to be cleared. There was one right there that allowed the offense to break out for the orange. But it just feels like sometimes they're not respecting these touches, and obviously you want to be there to punish the shot if they do miss that touch, and it's, you know, very possible that they could. But you also have to realize that at some point you're probably giving up that offensive pressure that you've worked hard for that, you know, small opportunity.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right, and that's what I think right now. They're playing a pretty passive game, and like you said, they don't really like to respect Syracuse right now, which, don't get me wrong, I think it's good to have confidence, but you know, Syracuse has had some really nice clears and demos, and here we go. Patrick and the rest of the team are trying to take it, but Shiro actually winning that crucial 50-50. Masseter up the wall. Nice aerials to try to get another tap on the ball, but is unable to do so as Lasome with a nice mid-clear.
Yeah, and unfortunately, all these 50s in the midfield just seem to be going right back to orange players, and that's what's allowing them to stay on this offense. There's obviously been a lot of touches from the Beans that have, you know, kept them from shooting the ball, but Syracuse has just had a lot of pressure extended, and hopefully the Beans are able to take this, you know, opportunity in the blue half, get a good 50, and extend their own pressure.
Yeah, I mean, we see here Lasome actually setting up a nice shot, and it's a double commit from Syracuse that goes awry. Lasome giving them the lead now for the Beans.
Lasome hit him with the 360 fake and just goes right to the top left corner, beats the two defenders. That's a 2-1 lead for the Beans late in game two.
Beautiful. And with 35 seconds left, it's now in Syracuse's court to try to answer that. And now I think Beans are perfectly content with playing a more defensive game.
Yeah, Masseter's just wasting so much time in the air with that flip reset. They have to respect every opportunity because you know Masseter can hit those. You just the kickoff was perfect right to him, and they've burnt so much time. That's almost half the time since the last goal was scored, and the ball's on the blue half. That's such a good position to be in if you're the Beans.
Yeah, currently 12 seconds left, and these floaters are just shaving so much time off. Lasome as well wants to try to get the ball and is able to do so, securing the victory and game 2 for the Beans.
I pointed out one player before this series that we had to keep our eye on. It was the newcomer Lasome, and he is carrying this team through with 2 goals in this game 2. Should tie up the series here, and we do have the bracket reset to work with, but this is a great start for the Beans. They finally been using their advantages, keeping that pressure, and some fantastic solo plays by Lasome, really stepping it up here in this game 2 as the Beans take it.
Yeah, I mean, we see obviously as we go into the final seconds of this game, there's really no possible way for Syracuse to win it now. I think it's just a matter of can Shiro get another goal, but they're unable to. The Beans, though, able to take game 2 against Syracuse.
Yeah, it was absolutely crucial to get this game back. You don't want to be facing a reverse sweep, especially after last week, what happened. And just, it's so important to get that game win. We're tied up at 1. It's a best-of-3 series, essentially, right now. We've seen those all day. The Beans know how to win best-of-3 series. They did it all through the winner's bracket, with the exceptions of, obviously, the best-of-5s. But they've done a lot of best-of-3s. They know this territory. They know this team. They faced them. They were the last team they faced. It looks like the Beans are starting to fire on more and more cylinders, and I think that'll continue to improve through the rest of the series, and we should hopefully close this out.
Absolutely. I think that we just started to see the cobwebs kind of get shaken off from the side of the Beans. I wonder if, maybe they had some food and they were, just getting back into it, or some maybe too many beans for dinner or something like that. But, we saw them finally getting into that groove, getting into that tempo. And I think, like you were saying, Lasome, an amazing player to look out for in this, and obviously was showing up just incredibly in game 2.
Yeah, and I think that's like part of the beauty of this team. All 3 of these players, Shiro, Masseter, Lasome, obviously Lasome proved it in this game, but any of these players can really step up to the plate. You have to be aware of what each of them can do. Any one of them is a threat to the Syracuse roster. And right now, it was just Lasome that game, but this game, it could be Shiro. He almost started out with 1.
There was a world where that kickoff was just absolutely disastrous. Masseter, though, committing to that ball. Shiro now has to be the one to defend. He was the one to attack, but with a nice rotation, able to get that and put the ball back in the midfield.
Yeah. An early opportunity for the Beans. Now the ball is on the orange half. Not too much. Oh, Shiro's going to fire one towards net. Oh, it looked like Mason was going to be going for boost, but he was able to see it in time and get back. Almost a disastrous rotation for Syracuse.
Ooh, double commit coming out from Syracuse. That could have been easily punished as the ball goes back into the midfield. Able to win a 50-52. Mason is going to be able to put it over to the side of the Beans, but Shiro with a nice clear putting it back on to Syracuse's side, and now they're actually down a defender. Got to wait for that respawn. Masseter wants to try to set up the rest of his teammate. Gets nudged actually by Patrick, and the ball goes back to the Beans' side.
Yeah, for about 20 seconds there, it felt like it was a constant 3v2 as someone on the Beans was either getting a demo or a bump on someone very far out of their rotation spot. It just seemed like the Beans had so much pressure, but Syracuse did a great job of just using those long clears to just alleviate any kind of pressure the Beans would build, and it doesn't lead to anything for either team.
Yeah, Lasome with some nice boost management there, able to bring the ball back into midfield. We see a double commit coming out from Syracuse. Shiro trying to use all that boost that he can to put that ball on the side of Syracuse, and is able to, but Patrick with a nice flip. And Lasome, though, with a demo in the backfield to the pass, and is trying to put the ball into position for a shooter, but it doesn't look like anyone's there as the rotations come in for the Beans.
Yeah, that midfield boost pickup by Shiro is absolutely crucial as it's allowing him to extend this pressure. He's also going to pick up the corner boost from the side of Syracuse Orange. Lasome's on the ball, and so you only know what that means. So we got some pressure here for the Beans.
Yeah, I saw Gavilan without that boost was unable to do much for the defense, but with all 3 members of Syracuse here, it's obviously going to be very hard to sink a shot in. As we move into 3 minutes left here, Shiro able to win a crucial 50-50 to bring the ball back over to Syracuse and continue the pressure for the Beans.
Yeah, this could be an opportunity. What a demo by Shiro. It's going to open up the net wide. Lasome's going to put it in, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, the Beans have a lead.
I don't know what to, I mean, that demo from Shiro in the backfield to take out the defender was just absolutely insane, and it just set the Beans up to take an early lead now.
Yeah, it's really a perfect 3-man demo play. I mean, Shiro gets the demo, Master throws one infield. It doesn't have to be on target because Lasome's there. He just buries the shot. 1-0 lead for the Beans. We'll see what they can do here now.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and that was the first goal that we saw in this game. I mean, that is a very long time to be had of Carball. Oh, Cavalon with a nice shot off the top. Not expecting that. And just a very quick fire back now from Syracuse.
Yeah, it looked like Shiro and Masseter wanted to double commit there, and Masseter does backflip out of the double commit, but it just leaves him in a spot where he can't recover in time for the shot. Syracuse is going to put that one in. Still have a game of Rocket League to play. We're tied at 1.
Absolutely. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left, and these 2 goals in quick succession are going to have to be some of the first. Oh, Mason with a demo. I believe Patrick got demoed in the backfield before that, and now we see the ball being put onto Syracuse's side. The Beans want to put the pressure directly onto Syracuse, but they're going to have to be worried about this defense as Patrick nudging the ball further and further into the Beans' side, and Mason looks like he wants to get set up, but Masseter was there to get it, and Masseter actually getting a demo onto Gavilan as well. Shiro's going to have to try to use all that boost. It's going to be a loss of a 50-50. Mason able to put that clear back, and a very successful defense from Syracuse.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much boost on the side of the Beans, except for Masseter, who's able to break out an offense. Then Shiro picks them up, gets demoed for his efforts. But a little bit of a discombobulated effort here on offense from the Beams. It looks like they're going to reset, let Shiro take the ball, and Shiro's going to get demoed yet again. Unfortunate for him. But just while the Beans have the pressure, it doesn't feel like there's too much pressure yet, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of defensive demos happening right now, and it's really been halting the offense right now from the Beans. 1 minute and 25 seconds left, and after those 2 very quick goals, not much in terms of shots from Syracuse, so Syracuse is going to have to try to mount some kind of offense here. Gavilan winning a nice 50-50. He's going to be able to try to tap it again, but Shiro there to get there first. Patrick with a nice defense, and trying to tap it again. He's going to be able to, and set up Gavilan to clear it all the way to the side of the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think the midfield presence here by the Beans, they've been cutting off any kind of clear opportunities that Syracuse is presenting them. And when there's 3 members of the pitch for the Beans, there's really not much you're going to do to get past that defense. The defense is too strong. What? Gavilan got that save? Oh my goodness, Shiro's going to put it in anyways. Oh, it was a beautiful shot by Masseter, an even better save, but they just can't clean it up on the goal line, and the Beans will take a late lead.
Yes, that is exactly what they needed to see. I can't believe he saved that. That was just absolutely incredible. I mean, the amount of aerial that you need for that. Gavilan just going huge, but Shiro obviously there for the rebound, able to give it to the Beans. And now, with 46 seconds left, I think the Beans could just play a more passive approach and really just do these kind of clears that put so much time on the clock.
Yeah, passive approach meets triple tap attempts here from Masseter. But as long as you're not giving up too much pressure, Lissom's just going to collect this, waste a lot of time. He's got, not much boost to work with. And so eventually it's just going to get played infield to Masseter. But, 24 seconds left. You're up by 1. You're trying to close this out. Syracuse looking for an opportunity. They're looking for each other in the midfield, but they couldn't make the shot come out of it. Now Lissom's going to get it past 1. Finds a teammate to get it past 2, and they're looking good going into these last 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 more seconds left, and obviously with that clear, it just adds so much time off the clock, and it just makes it so hard for any kind of attempt to happen. This ball looks like it's going to go down. No, actually, Gavilan able to save it, but Lissom and Shiro both committing to it and able to take it. Nice game from the Beans, and now, Syracuse is in the hot seat.
Yeah, Syracuse very much on the hot seat, as they are again. They already know, I've been talking about the Beans mental a lot of this time, especially considered how they were last week. But right now, the pressure's on for Syracuse. They already got 3-0'd by this team. They were able to take the first game, but they took it in a tough overtime win. And the Beans have felt like they've controlled most of the games here on out. They obviously won the last 2 games, one by a 2-goal margin. This one only by a 1-goal margin. But I feel like the Beans have had most of the pressure. And Syracuse, while they had a good attempt to end that game, it just wasn't enough. And you got to start thinking, all right, we need 2 more games and, a bracket reset if you're Syracuse.
Right.
That's a difficult task. You can't think about that, but the Beans are going to be, playing their game just normally we just need 1 more win out of these next 2, and we're in.
Yeah, and I think one of the big plays that I wanted to talk about here before we go into the next game is that play that Shiro was able to make with the rest of his team. Shiro just able to take down the defending player and really just set up the rest of his team. That was just some great team play all around from the Beans and to show how they're warming up right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen Shiro be a lot more of a team player this series. He's definitely got the solo play capability, and he almost caught out the defense there. But he's definitely got many, different weapons in his arsenal, team play being one of them. Obviously, these 3 are a great team together. But he's got the potential to be solo players, but he's playing really unselfishly today.
Yeah, I think, and that's really just been the pinnacle of their success right now. I think those team plays have just shown exactly how well the Beanz can play together. And obviously, you said the core of this team has been together for so long. Lasome being the newcomer, but clearly he's been doing just some fantastic work so far, in these qualifiers.
You can tell how much Syracuse respects Lasome as well. He was just sitting there with tons of boost, just slowly air dribbling it. It didn't look like he had complete control over it at any point, but they're still afraid. If he gets that one flick past him, he's beating a defender. So they're just giving him so much respect, letting him waste his boost and opportunities, which kills so much time. Not that important with a 1-0 lead, but you can tell Lasome's got he's in their heads.
Yeah, we see a double commit coming out from the side of Syracuse that could become a little deadly. A close shot, I think, from Shiro there. Lasome missing the ball, actually. Masseter, though, able to pick it up. Gavilan, though, demoing Masseter, able to take it out. And, oh, that was a close 50-50 one by Mason Star. Masseter, though, looks like he's out for blood. It was an open net, but able to just get taken out. Oh, another close shot on the crossbar. Such close shooting right now, and individual team play right now from the Beanz.
Yeah, it was a really impressive play by Masseter. He was able to look towards that, stealing that corner boost, but just couldn't quite find it. I mean, that solo play, it's ridiculous when you say it. I never would have thought he went for net there. I would have thought, infield pass, look for a teammate. But the fact that he's able to take those shots, and he can, if one of those falls, it's just highlight reel play, and it's demoralizing for a team already on match point.
Yep, I mean, 3 minutes left in this game and no scores yet as we move further and further into the mid-game here. Masseter with an amazing demo. What a great demo onto Gavilan. Mason Star, though, wants to use up this boost to try to tap the ball as much as he can. Notice Patrick actually going for a double commit there. And Lasome, oh, a nice fake out. Able to take even more control for the Beanz.
They sent 2 players at Lasome, and he's able to dodge both demos. Unfortunately, he does get clipped by one of them, and that halted the pressure. There's a goal by Gavilan, though. The save by Shiro doesn't go to the corner enough, and Syracuse is able to transition on the counterattack to get one on the board.
Yeah, I really thought Shiro was going to be able to hard clear that, and it looked like he thought he did too, but Gavilan with a nice recovery and able to take a close lead for Syracuse.
Yep, so 1-0 lead, still more than half the game to play, just barely. The kickoff's going to go to Lasome, and I'm sure he's got a full tank of boost ready to use it. Goes for the dunk immediately. But Syracuse obviously have the 1 goal, plenty of time left. If you're the Beanz, you still got to play your game, just play as you normally do. Hope you eventually it leads to a goal, because there's still plenty of time. But if you're Syracuse, you got to start feeling a little bit more confident.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this game, and obviously, this is kind of the big game right now for the Beanz. The Beanz still have, as much time as they would need to be able to come back into this. And now we see Lasome with a nice save and clear, putting it onto the side of Syracuse. Shiro winning that 50-50, but Mason Star in the back, able to put it back and actually stealing a boost too. That was huge. Nice boost management coming out right now from Syracuse.
Yeah, and Lasome with a great air dribble play there to just extend it by 1. Patrick's going to get the 50, but Masseter's up to it. He's going to use the wall to try to get back to this, but it's going to be shut down by Patrick again. But I think as long as the Beanz are on the blue half, they're comfortable. And Syracuse, while they're going for some of these counterattacks, they were able to get the first goal based off that. You can't be too comfortable on your own net, especially knowing the firepower that the Beanz have.
Oh, yeah, that was a nice demo actually coming out from the side of the Beanz. It looked like they might have tried to take it, and actually they're going to be able to dribble it around the defenders. Masseter with a close shot, nice aerials, but unable to capitalize. Lasome winning another 50-50. Oh, Gavilan, though, he's going to have control of the ball, but losing that 50-50 again, shaving so much time off the clock.
Yeah, and I think, it's still in the blue half. Obviously, the 50-50s aren't going exactly how the Beanz want, but I wouldn't quite say they're losing them. It's just going into space where normally the Beanz are able to collect it, albeit with a little time run off the clock. I don't think there's still under a minute left, but I don't think they're too panicked yet. They know they have the pressure. They know they can keep the pressure on, and they know what they're capable of. And as long as they keep playing their game, I don't think they need to send everything at the house just yet.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and obviously Syracuse is currently up by the only goal scored this game. Shiro tried to put the pressure on, but is unable to do so, as now it's cleared over to the side of the Beanz. And, with 24 seconds left, it's going to have to be a very close game. We see a nice setup right now. Gavilan, though, able to clear it far back, and so much time is getting shaved off on those floaters. And now Mason Star, such a far clear. Obviously, Shiro is going to have to try to get something off this. But right now, it's an empty net. He could set up his teammate. Shiro could be the one to get it in, but no. Patrick is able to defend against it, and Gavilan wants to get this ball down.
Surprised it looked like Syracuse left the net so open with so little time left, but they're able to clean it up, secure the win, and we're going to a Game 5 here in this first series.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for any more games, clearly.
Yep.
And these have all been very close games. You know, we're not seeing anything too crazy and very low scoring.
Yeah. No, that was one thing that stuck out for me for this game as well. It feels like, you know, the Beans kind of have a play style that lends them to more goals, like more plays. Eventually, you're going to want to pepper the net more. But I think Syracuse's, you know, defense was able to like wear them out, just force some good 50s that wasted time once they had that one goal. And I feel like that game played more to Syracuse's strengths than the Beans, and that's how they were able to take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And obviously, we are going to be able to see Game 5 now, and this is kind of what we were talking about. We don't want them to have to deal with that bracket reset,
Oh,
and
no.
I think this is where the Beans need to take it right now.
Yep. This is do or die for Syracuse. The Beans have one more life, but I'm sure they don't want to use it. I'm sure they want to take it here. We'll see what happens in this Game 5.
Yeah, we're going to have to see here. Obviously, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. Masseter with a nice tap onto the midfield. Mason, though, able to take it back, and Patrick's probably going to be able to hard clear it here and put it on the side of the Beans.
Yep. A little bit of back and forth. Obviously, no team wants to commit too much. The Beans, I'm sure they're treating this like it's tournament point. Not like in terms of pressure, but like they know they want to win. They don't want to use that bracket reset because who knows what happens in another best-of-5 series.
Yeah.
They want to take it here. They know what happened last week. They can't let it get to their minds too much, but they're playing to win, and they're playing very securely in that start.
Yeah, I mean, 4 minutes left in this game. No scores yet in the first minute. And, you know, a lot of pressure being put right now on the Beans as we see good rotations coming out from the Beans as Lasome with a nice clear. Shear's going to have to try to pick up the pieces. Low boost right now, but a nice steal, actually. Master with a cool aerial, able to double tap the ball. And, oh, that commit, man, it was a nice 50-50, but with no boost, Master's unable to hit it again.
Yeah, I felt like there should have been an opportunity there for the Beans. They had a demo on a man who wasn't quite in the play, and it actually like set them back to their half, unfortunately. But it felt like there could have been a breakout opportunity. We might see one here, though, as Gavilan's able to get the clear instead. But the Beans just haven't really had, you know, too many opportunities on net. That being said, that doesn't feel like Syracuse has either.
Right. I mean, it just feels like both teams kind of know the gravity of the situation. No one wants to commit too much because if they do, that could be disastrous.
Yeah. So just kind of stuck in the midfield. That's a great 50 by Shiro. He's going to get bumped into the play, which actually extends it. But Syracuse is able to control their own boosts, and I think the Beans are as well. That's why we haven't seen too many extended pressure stays by either team. And it's just a lot of back and forth, just happy to clear it and wait for the defender to clear it right back.
Yeah, I mean, we see, obviously, Gavilan has been very good at winning these 50-50s and just making, you know, kind of clears for the Beans almost impossible, which has obviously been working. A nice demo from Patrick, really just making it hard for the Beans to mount any kind of offense.
Yep, there was a good infield pass there on the defense for the Beans. Shiro's going to pepper one towards the net. Lissom's going to get the rebound. That's 1-0 for the Beans.
That's exactly what they needed, and that was some fantastic team play. They thought Masseter was going to be the one to do it, but no, Shiro setting him up on that crossbar, and Lasome with a nice shot on the right side with no defenders puts a 1-0 for the Beans.
Yeah, it all starts with that infield pass on their own half. That sets up Masseter for a full field-long play. He acts like he's going for it, doesn't end up having the touch, but they have to respect it, and that sets up Shiro for the pass, and Lissome's there to bury it. 1-0 for the Beans. Still half the game to go in this Game 5, but a crucial 1-0 lead.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 minutes left into this game, and you know, obviously these games have been just so low scoring that, you know, any goal is definitely extremely crucial. Masseter, though, with a nice shot on the bottom, so close. Gavilan, though, has been so good on these saves as well. Shiro wants to try to get it. A nice fake on the aerial as Lasome is putting the pressure on himself, but now they have to be worried about all three Syracuse players here. Mason Star setting up Patrick, but Patrick losing the 50-50, and a demo in the back means that they have to try to scramble for this defense rotation.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing for the Beans is they're controlling all of their touches a lot more now, which wastes like the 2 extra seconds. It's a lot of what Syracuse did in that Game 4, but this is actually wide open. Mason Star got demoed. He's going to get back to it in time. Melissa can't find the net. But the touches from the Beans are just slowing it down, making sure they take possession and get a good look at net, which is something they didn't really have before the first goal, which is interesting to see that adjustment now that the first goal has come out. And we'll see if they can win this Game 5 as Syracuse won Game 4 with the same strategy.
Yeah, I think these taps have just been absolutely just fantastic. And now Patrick getting actually a very nice demo, and that's going to have to put a little bit of pressure right now on the Beanz. However, Shiro, though, is just, he steals the boost too. Great boost management. Masseter coming around as well, but they're going to have to try to rotate now as Lasome loses his 50-50. Shiro with a nice clear, and that's what these taps, they have been just so impactful in shaving down the clock and making it so hard for Syracuse to come back with a response.
Yeah, that was one opportunity for Syracuse that looked like it could be dangerous, but Master was able to get the save. Now it's back in the blue half, and Mason Star's going to be able to take it into the orange, but a great shutdown by Shiro. Shiro's 50s have been really unnoticed, but really fantastic this series, especially now that they have the lead in Game 5. He's been absolutely putting on a clinic in these corners, making sure he's getting by 1, getting by 2, just beating whoever he can and wasting so much time as he does it.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and obviously these floaters have just been shaving so much time off the clock. Nice defense by Masseter right now, shaving even more time off. Mason Star is trying to pass the ball to Patrick, but Patrick with no boost is unable to do anything. Gavilon looks like, though, he wants to set up his team, but winning the 50-50 is Lasome, and he's able to just tap the ball so far away. Look at the amount of time that is getting shaved off the clock right now.
You can tell the panic from Syracuse. They're waiting for passes with no boost. They're praying for any opportunity. There's 5 seconds left, and the Beanz are just slowing down. They know Mason Star's the only threat, and he doesn't have any kind of angle. It takes a 0-second play from Syracuse to stay alive.
Yeah, I think this ball is going to go down right there as they're unable to get it. And yes, the Beanz are able to win it in this best-of-5 series against Syracuse Orange.
An absolutely fantastic series to close it out. It was a little nerve-wracking. It was a little panicky, but Beanz a lot solid in this final game. They were able to take Syracuse down 3-0 in the open bracket, which gave them the advantage, and they didn't end up needing to use it. They take them down 3-2 in their second series against them today and move on to CRL League play.
Yeah, I mean, this was just absolutely clinical right now from the Beanz, and I think it really came by with that team play. I think the amount of team play that we were able to see from all of them, we saw that back shot come out from Shiro and the rest of them, and it just obviously showed low scoring, great defense, and whenever they needed to, they applied the pressure onto Syracuse.
Yep, it just took the one play. It took the one play involving all 3 of them. I mean, it took Lissam twice. He was the one passing it in field to Masseter. But it took all 3 of them, and once they had that, they just played so controlled. Just made sure that Syracuse didn't have any kind of answer that they could bring to the table. And once that happened, it was just over. The Beanz were able to take it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of that jitters, I think, in the first game. We saw, obviously, maybe they were coming back from a break. Obviously, it was a long time versus Syracuse. They had that match beforehand that they played. But, they came back, and they came back swinging in those next 3 games.
Yeah, they really did. And one thing I noticed on the post-game screen as well is that Masseter only had 24 ball touches and 3 demos. So he might have been going for demos more often, but he was still an integral part to the team, even with, not as many ball touches as you would expect it. So a lot of off-ball play from Masseter that didn't make him exactly stand out in terms of, what you might be looking for. But he was still a fantastic player in the series, contributing just as equally. The one to set up originally that game's really the only scoring play in Game 5. And so really well played by him and everyone in this series.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, we love to see the Beanz come in, and obviously, let's just talk for a second. Scarlet and Gray, unfortunately, were out earlier, and the Legumez losing in their own, I believe it was their losers' quarters. Yep. So, the Beanz are the only ones to qualify for CRL, but I'm excited to watch them now.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch them. I'm sure the revenge match against RIT that they will get is going to be a blast. But it's going to be fun. I'm glad the Beanz are back. Couldn't make it in the fall. It was 12 teams then. It's 16 teams now. But that doesn't matter because the Beanz are back in CRL.
Beanz are back in town indeed. And it has been an absolute pleasure casting with you today on CRL Week 2. My name is Jeremy. I'm joined today by Matthew. And everyone else at home, have a good rest of your day. Take care.